Okay, and we're live. Hello.
Hi, live.
Welcome.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome to the show. I am Saran, also known as William, and I'm joined by Ollie, Rob, and Scott.
Hi.
It's been like 3 weeks since
It
we did a
has
session.
It's been a
been
year.
consecutively 10 billion years.
You're all older.
I'm now a single-celled organism.
Good.
I don't know how that works.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
back
either.
in evolution. Anyway, carry on.
Perish.
So last session we ended with a heated debate.
Mm.
Is that what we're calling it?
It's a little bit of a heated. It's a mildly warm debate.
Yeah, like a lukewarm debate.
And then I got ill, so
Yeah.
it probably looked like for those 3 weeks that we'd gone our separate ways and we all hate each other, but that isn't actually what happened.
Oh, that goes
That
without
happened
saying.
afterwards.
Yeah, that happens in the future when this campaign finally finishes.
F.
And we all have to kill each other in a final showdown.
I'll just stay where I live. None of you
I don't
people
know
would
where I'm
come
going
here.
with any of this. Okay, so I'm still kind of ill, as you might be able to tell from my voice.
He's slightly loopy.
We're gonna play some Bidding Wheel, hopefully.
Allegedly.
Yes.
At some point.
Soon, I hope. Jesus,
Potentially.
fuck.
Let's just start.
Let's just yes.
We're just going back and
We've
forth.
been at this for hours. Let's just
Right, so Bidding Wheel is a game where we have beliefs. So let's read our beliefs.
start with the reading of the beliefs.
Let's start. Let's go in alphabetical order. Arkan. So you're really quiet.
Am I? Am I?
Yeah. Let me see if I
any
can
better?
turn you up.
This place sounds like none I've ever heard of. In the tavern, I heard of a strange traveller who's come from the north only recently. I will order them to join the hunt and use their knowledge to heal Masata. Belief 2. Panther was a good soldier and a good man. I can feel nothing but pity for him. I will prevent any attempt to hunt him down and kill him. Belief 3. Eela's wise and strong and has many talents that she doesn't use. I will tell her to explain this to me and convince her that she should be more assertive with things that matter to her. And I've actually changed a couple of my instincts.
All
In
right.
fact, I've just changed one of my instincts. My instinct that was I will go into defensive stance whenever I'm forced to use my sword has changed because it was boring. To never pass up an opportunity to increase my hoard of cash.
Oh boy, this can only go so
Because
wrong.
I remember I had a belief about this originally, and I was
Yes.
thinking, how do I continue to represent this on my character sheet? And then helpfully, I was reminded last session by the dead bodies that we looted, that there are opportunities to make money just
Everywhere.
by taking it
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah. So I think you got like 2 cash dice or something, right?
Yeah, and so this is definitely a thing I can do to do something that's slightly suspect or awful and earn a fate and get some cash.
This is an automatic, retroactive. I looted all of the bodies instinct.
Like we actually
Like,
did
oh
loot
my!
all
I
the bodies.
just realized. No. Like just
In the
generally
future.
Oh, yeah.
speaking, if
Yeah.
it was if it was a dungeon crawl game, then everyone would just have this instinct. You'd leave the dungeon and be like, okay, what did we get?
Oh, that would be pretty sweet.
Save that for next campaign.
Yeah. So anyway, continue why you wrote it specifically.
Specifically, I've got it because eventually I want to buy a really sick horse.
Nice. I mean, you could try and just find one in the wild, I suppose.
I mean, I could, but the whole point was originally that I know that Murakami have the best horses.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
And it's possible I'll find someone else who has better horses. It's possible I'll run into a random magical horse and fall in
Magic
love with it.
horse. Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
a
you
Disney princess.
Yeah. Except
If-
with
I love that there's one thing that Arkan has taken from Realm civilization, and that is things are infinitely easier if you have money.
I mean, it's not like either of my cultures before didn't value money. It's
No.
that like I think both of them were quite cooperative.
Yeah, they were more
in different ways.
resource-based economies,
Like
Yes.
less.
Whereas the realm is very much about hoarding your money.
I pitched the Ashalvi as being like tribal based. Like you
Yeah.
deal in money with people who aren't in your tribe.
Yeah,
and then
internally it's
I
like
have
trading favors.
I have this headcanon about the Americani that they're kind of like almost like the start of the Bible where you have like different patriarchs walking around with their households.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
like that as an idea, right? Where you have like there's just one guy in charge and everyone else is like his servants or his household, but he
Yeah.
technically owns all the property.
Like the family that Cain goes and makes after. I think it's Cain.
Yeah, well, it's like
Right.
like Isaac and like
Yeah.
there's the stories of like who's going to inherit Jacob or Esau, right? And it's a big
Yes,
deal because
yeah.
it's like this is a mobile town.
Yep.
Enough of that digression.
Cool. All right. Um. And I guess since it's been a couple of weeks, why don't we read our traits as well? Or at least character traits.
Yeah, so my character traits are slave brand, easily exploited, and respectful of elders.
Nice. All right. And then S comes before V, so...
Well, so does E.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that works too.
Eel has had somewhat of a little bit of a change of heart. So, belief 1, Viper's outburst has made me remember the true tenets of the Immaculate Faith. A Solar is only truly dangerous when shielded by society. We may not be equipped to face him, but we must ensure that he cannot slip into the shadows.
I like this one a lot.
Yes. Belief number 2, it may yet be possible that the errant monk can help us undo what ill effects plague Masata. I will discover where he is hidden and return him to his duties as keeper of the calendar. And belief 3, I have switched out for a guiding light belief to farm that delicious, delicious fate.
You need it as well, don't you?
I kind of do.
Pretty
Yeah.
fate starved recently.
Because I've been spending it a lot and still failing.
It's the new rule that lets us dump our fate, and you were like, "There's a new rule that
yeah.
lets me dump 10 fate on one roll."
Yeah.
I'll say it later.
Yeah, my guiding light belief is now the hunt's greatest weapons are swiftness and subterfuge. It would serve us well to remember that. My instincts are as they have always been. And my traits, I am an ideologue, I have seen some shit, I have wasted potential, I'm pliant, diluted, and democratic.
Cool.
Nice.
Are you still happy with your instincts?
Me, yes.
Yeah. Cool.
It's my
Alright.
turn.
And Viper.
Belief 1, the realm stands above all else. Belief 2, we have agreed to hunt down the anathema. I shall do all I can to find him and hunt him down, regardless of my associates' grumblings. Belief 3 is kind of away. I am a soldier. I must act in a manner befitting of such. Although Panther was a liar and anathema, I shall commit to fighting him in an honourable way.
I like that.
Yeah, I like that.
Thank you. And thanks.
I think that, like, it's something that I've been thinking about a lot recently because I've been
Off work and had lots of.
I've been off work and had lots of things to think about, but I've also been like looking at like mythology and like ancient history and stuff. In particular, the Mahabharata, the Indian or Hindu, like it's like the Odyssey or the Iliad, or it gets compared to them. But one of the interesting things in that is like these basically two groups of demigods go to war, and before they slaughter the whole planet, basically, they lay down some ground rules about like what is considered honorable combat, and like if you follow these rules, then your war is just. And both sides break the rules, but it's at least in principle. I think it's a cool idea, and it's probably one of the first examples of like a war treaty being laid down in mythology. But I fully expect the realm to have similar ideals. Whether they're properly upheld or not is up to individuals, but they're certainly written down somewhere.
Well, I mean, like the legions have a book called The 1,000 Correct Actions.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's a great belief.
And then my instincts. Instinct 1, I shall not yield to those who are not my peers. Instinct 2, always have my swords on hand. Instinct 3.
I suppose that should be sword now, right?
No, because I'm getting it back. And then instinct 3, I don't think it's the best instinct, but always look for an opponent's weak points.
Yes and no. I suppose it's one of those that would let you make a retroactive roll. If like things suddenly escalate, you can say, okay, well, we've been chatting for a while. I would have looked for weak points in the build up to this. If you want to try and use it like in an actual fight, though, then would that be like you're trying to get a free assess off right at the beginning or something?
Both. One or the other.
Yeah.
I will warn you, this is possibly unlikely to come up. Like
Possibly unlikely to come up.
it's a thing that if you think of something better, you should have it like noted down that if you think of something better, you should replace it, because
it's not. I don't think it's an inherently bad instinct though. It's not like always keep an eye out for danger.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's probably all right. It's just whether it'll actually come up or not. And it's very unlikely to get you in trouble. But you know, instincts don't have to get you in trouble.
Yeah, and then my character traits.
Yeah, sure.
My character traits are skinny, stringent, diluted, heroic, and feudal. My die traits are mark of privilege, deadly precision, stoic, essence wielder, anima storm, and the normal dragon blooded ones. My call on is dexterity of a cat, call on for climbing or speed related tests.
Cool. On that topic, actually, I'm not sure if anybody actually did this, but I've discovered that a neat way to remember when you actually have die traits or call-ons that are relevant to a particular skill is just to put in brackets in the skill name DT or CO.
I only have one to remember, so...
Yeah. But then it's like, as soon as you test the skill, even if you've forgotten that you have something relevant, as soon as you test it, you'll be like, oh yeah, I should roll another dice for this or whatever, because I have a thing. It's just like a little visual reminder, I guess. And it's automatically contextually sensitive, which is neat.
Wow.
Yeah. So feel free to do that if you want to. Or you can just forget about your call-ons all the time. Yeah, and then the one other thing I was going to say was on the topic of just dumping fate into shit for stunts. I still like that mechanic. I think it's really good. Honestly, I'm really pleased with it. But I think I might nerf it slightly by saying that the excess Arta that you spend by stunting doesn't contribute towards an epiphany.
Yeah. That's only a very slight nerf.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
it makes sense that we don't want to just be waiting on only deeds.
Yes, yeah.
Um,
All right, and then I think that's all the pre-game stuff. So, well, I guess the last little thing is a recap. I don't think we need to recap the. Well, no, I suppose there's not a huge amount to recap. So, if somebody would like to do the honors.
so last session, we, having successfully killed half of the people while they were fleeing, Arcan's subordinates continued to chase them down. Eel challenged their leader and killed him in a really stunning display of violence, and then decided that maybe she wanted him alive after all. We tried to heal him in order to prevent him from bleeding to death, I mean, in order that we'd be able to then interrogate him. But unfortunately, he did bleed to death because it was a very hard thing to prevent him from dying from, since he was, I mean,
Stabbed
almost
through the
literally,
chest.
yeah, almost literally.
Yeah.
So while
And
we were doing
in
that,
the meantime,
the other captive that we had taken escaped, which in character I was annoyed about, but out of character I'm really pleased about, because it's more fun that way. After which we had a big argument, the results of which is that we are now headed off into the forest to spend the rest of this night until dawn, fruitlessly hunting for someone who has become supernaturally good at stealth. So we're all going to try our hardest. Definitely.
It's easy. It's fine. It's like killing a very big dog.
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Okay.
exactly the same. Okay, so
Like killing what's that horror dog like Kubo or whatever his name was? Subo, something like that.
No,
What?
yeah,
Go.
that Sybil.
I don't know. Anyway,
What do you do? What do you do? Sorry.
Yakujo.
So yes, I suppose picking up off that, you've now had your argument, calmed down a bit, and are ready, I suppose, to consolidate and head back into the forest, into the night, to search for Panther, the newly anointed anathema.
So I think he's got a promotion.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah.
Yeah, he kind of has.
Being a Shikari is a pretty bum job, right?
He got promoted from mortal to immortal, so that's, you know.
I mean, look,
Day one is being
Shikari's just
immortal.
like a half-paid intern.
But yes, whether the promotion is a blessing or a curse depends on your religious views, I suppose.
So I guess we're like standing
Actually-
around the forest, and Arcan, like
Carry-
I guess
carry
that, like the this argument kind of comes to a halt. I think Arcan is taking some time to think, and he says, It seems like we can't dissuade you. Well, you're not wrong either. This may be our last chance to find him.
That much is true.
Well, Viper, it's your. You're the one who wants to do this. What was your plan?
My plan is simple. We light a torch, or we don't, whatever. Head into the forest and we search for his tracks. We'll undoubtedly find them. It's not hard.
I do not think it will be quite as easy as that, but you do have a point. After all, it is inadvisable to allow a Solar Exalted to slip away like that. We should keep do our best to keep tabs on him.
Yes, we should. And Viper's gonna, I guess, turn and walk at the forest.
Walk out of the forest.
Walk
Into the forest, you mean,
into.
presumably.
Oh, okay. I was going to say.
I said into.
Sorry, it sounded like you said out of.
You did, yeah, it did.
And I was about to say the forest is several 100,000 kilometers squared.
She just fucking no clips with the phone and just flies out, just bugs herself out of the place.
I mean, currently we are not standing in the forest. We are standing in a clearing in the forest created by a stampede of animals.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, so you head where? Like back to the camp where you first saw Panther Exalt?
Yeah.
Or somewhere else?
Like follow where his go to where I saw him. Go to where the direction I saw him run off in.
Okay.
Cause
Well, let's. I'd say getting back to the camp, to the little like cave thing, where all of this started. That's easy enough. You just follow your trace back that you ran across about an hour ago, and yeah, you can you can see everyone's tracks in the jungle turf still. Well, once you get close enough with a torch, at least.
yeah.
But it is now like past sunset, past twilight, even.
Nighttime.
Is there anything you want to do at the camp, or are you going straight for Panther? Anybody? Not just you.
Oops, sorry.
I mean, we know what I'm doing.
With your new instinct.
Yeah, shiny. I'm looking for the shiny.
Terrible.
Wait, didn't we already loot this place? Didn't we already go through this place?
The camp,
The
no.
camp,
because
no.
That's when
'cause
they started fleeing from us.
You decided to run after everyone
Yeah.
quite briskly.
I have a quick question.
Sure.
I can't remember. I don't think I earned any persona from last session.
Oh yeah, nobody did.
Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, we didn't actually earn any Arta last session.
Oh shit.
Oh,
No, we didn't, because just
Well, we've deleted all our beliefs.
I think we should all earn at least one persona.
Oh wait, hang on. Did I mark mine? Yes, I did.
I don't.
I
I
did
know I
mark mine because I
completed-
went in afterwards when the servers went back
Yeah.
up.
I know I completed two of
Okay.
mine. I completed my one about punishing the Wild Hunt guys, and I completed the one about patching myself up.
Yes. Okay, so we'll
Okay.
say 2 persona for Viper.
I would have earned fate off my preventing an attempt to hunt down and kill Panther.
Yeah,
And I think that's probably it, unless
probably.
we...
Yeah.
We're not going to go into traits for this.
No, I don't
this
think.
is
Yeah.
just what beliefs you had.
What beliefs you can remember working
Yeah.
towards last session, yeah. So yeah, I guess fate for that. And then Eel, what did you mark?
1 persona, because that was the only thing I did.
Okay. Oh yeah, you killed the dude, right? That
Yeah.
was persona worthy or something, right?
Yes.
Cool. Okay, there we go.
I killed a man.
Okay, so I guess I'm
I
gonna go
killed the
straight
man, I
into
liked it.
looking for the guy.
Yeah, so I guess because
I think you should wait for the rest of us and then.
I mean, I
we're
presumed
doing
you
some-
guys were
we're doing
following
something-
behind
Yeah, we're
me.
doing something. No, we're doing something quick because we have to go back up to their camp to like find the start of his trail, right? And then I want to quickly look through because I don't think we're going to come back to camp like until like quite a while from now.
probably
so
not.
you could probably spend 10 minutes looking through this place, like.
Yeah. Okay. Are you looking for anything in particular, or is it literally just cash?
Arcan is looking for valuables.
Okay.
If someone else wants to be looking for something else, then we can.
Because there is actually a looting skill.
I guess I would look for any signs of the monk, but that would probably be nothing more than I look around the camp to see if the monk is there.
Yeah.
I assume the answer is no.
No, the monk is not at the camp.
Then I end my search.
um. Uh,
What are you thinking about?
I'm thinking how to make this interesting because it's an instinct.
I mean, it's not a time I'm using the instinct to get myself in trouble.
Right.
I mean, if you really want to, if you want to just screw with me personally, then you go. I mean, like the others say, "Hey, are you coming? Are you not done yet? We're leaving without you." And then you're sort of alone in the forest. But that would be really pointless because it would just
Yeah.
make things dumb. The other thing you like, the other thing you could do is just go like, sure, you find some shit. Third thing you can do is like you find some shit, but it's valuable temple treasure. So, or like it's religiously significant, or
Yeah. What's your perception?
perception 4.
4.
But I've got observation.
Yeah. It's just scavenging is rooted in perception. I'd say unless you're specifically looking for valuable items such as money or antiques, then I'll just let you take some of those fruit if you want them, because they like, I guess you'd, in exploring the camp, you would have noticed basically that they have a few they have a wheelbarrow basically that was parked. Well, it was parked up against the cave mouth and got overturned in all of the chaos. But at the back of the cave, there's a couple of small barrels,
Okay.
like kegs almost.
I think this is a good result from an instinct. And if we want to go through this guy's possessions in more detail at some other time, we can come back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. So I'm gonna grab some fruit.
Okay, yeah. So you can just add You know what? We'll call it a die of fate worth of fruit. So just you have fruit until you roll a 1 on a die of
okay,
fate.
right. Yeah,
Like a tool, basically. If you want to be carrying that much around with you, I guess.
What was if he never rolls a 1? Does that just mean he has endless fruit?
At some point, I will toss the rest. Right?
Yeah, at some point it'll go off.
Yeah. Like if we go to the next scenario, unless I do something special, this is not
It'll
gonna.
just But okay, so you have fruit now. Yeah, I think unless you want to stop here and investigate sort of more thoroughly what they were doing, I think that's all I'll tell you. Hello?
Until
No, I mean I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
sure.
Okay. So then you turn your attention to Panther's tracks. He, after exalting, basically grabbed your sword and ran off. And I think the direction that he took. Which direction? He actually headed towards the direction that the rest of the party was heading up the hill initially. And then when he sort of saw them ahead, he diverted into the undergrowth. And that's sort of where the trail begins to get harder to follow.
Mm-hmm.
So I suppose we should make a tracking test. If that's the way you want to do it.
Yeah. More tracking tests are good. Because it only takes me 4 tests and then I get tracking.
Unless you can think of another way to hunt this person down, of course.
The only thing I could think of is this observation. That's the only thing.
He's not hiding in a bush nearby.
So yeah, the only thing I can do is tracking, because tracking is the better.
It's not the only thing you can do, but if that's the only thing you can think of, then fine. That's what.
Well, I'm just gonna yell, throw, and ask, please come here.
I mean, I can think of some other things, but
I'll give you some sweets. No. I will ask the Shikari if they could assist me.
Yeah, they can probably help.
And if they say no, I say do it.
They probably have tracking. And I suppose your 2 companions might be able to help.
My associates.
I mean, I am going to make sure we don't get lost in a forest.
Yep.
So I'll use orienteering.
Okay. What's your orienteering at?
I don't think it's high enough to give more than 1.
Is it 5 or higher?
It is 4.
Okay.
I could use orienteering, but I don't think orienteering works. So.
Well, you're specifically tracking here, but orienteering definitely helps.
I'm orienteering to help. So.
I can't fork into, but yeah. So 1 help from the Shikari. 1, 2.
Are you helping with anything, Arkan?
I think Arkan is like I think he's really he keeps being really tempted to like do this more. He's probably not doing it enough to be actually unhelpful, like enough to like get weird looks, and he stops. But he's doing stuff like stepping on twigs, like pretending he can't see properly and like falling over.
Okay.
Just making
You're
noise
not-
and slowing things down.
you're
But
not
like
helping,
he keeps
but
everyone keeps like looking at him like he's in a really suspicious and
Arkan, what the
unhelpful
fuck
way.
are you doing?
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Well, I don't really want to commit to this. It's like, I'm not gonna push super hard."
I'll just say that you're not helping. Like, not.
No,
not,
damn it, no. I'm
Okay.
committing to this.
Pardon?
I'm making it. I'm just being actively unhelpful.
Okay, so you're actively trying to make it worse.
Would this be like a linked conspicuous test where if he?
Um,
I'm fine with just subtracting 1 dice. Like, I don't care that much to like make it a big. Let's roll lots and.
no, I don't think so either. I'd say it would. You contribute like +1 ob.
Okay.
I think I prefer more -1 die than +1.
Yeah, everyone would, but you don't do it in pluses and minuses of dice. There's only plus dice and plus ob. There's no minus
That's bullshit.
ob.
That's bullshit.
Well,
Um,
I'm making you improve your character.
I will
But-
punch you right in the
but-
testicles.
Arkan doesn't. You're not going to mark a test for
Oh no.
making this worse.
Like, I think
however, I'll
it's
say
obvious
it
to everyone
can
what
affect.
it's doing.
Yeah, it affects the failure consequences. So, like, you're still tied to the test in the sense that
Yes.
everyone will know that, or everyone will at least think that they failed because of you rather than because of anything else. For example, the +3 ob that you'll get from being at night.
I think that's fine. Like, I think it's fine.
Yeah.
Like, I think. I don't know if it's like everyone thinks it's because of you. I think what's fair is for like it to be really obvious that he was trying to make it worse, because like jumping to like blaming him for not finding the guy is less interesting than questioning him about why he's
Yes,
helping,
yeah, it would
right?
certainly come
And
up
if
in
you're
an
just
argument later on. It's like,
angry at him, then we're not going to do the interesting conversation.
sure. I suppose what I mean is like there
No, I
are
absolutely
there are
agree.
probably bigger reasons why you're going to fail this test if you're going to fail, but you're certainly not helping.
Yeah, no, I'm not helping.
Probably Panther's grey shaded skill, but
Does the torch that I have lit help me in any way? In the terms of that, I can see the tracks clearly if I hold my torch close to them.
I feel like the torch lets us make the test. If we were just in the
Yeah.
dark without a torch, we'd be like.
Well, no, because we would have all the without a torch, we would have all the plus obs from it being night.
We already
We
have.
still
those,
do.
I think,
You
'cause
still do, because
your visibility is like 10 feet.
tracking
compared to-
is more than just following footsteps through dirt.
yeah.
The other thing is that at night the jungle like is much more noisy.
Yeah, the jungle is alive at night.
Because it says like tracking is the ability to follow prints, impressions, and traces through wilderness, and I'm
Yes.
following his prints. And with a torch, I have a greater visibility and seeing.
In about you have a greater visibility in like 1 meter radius, and then your night vision beyond that radius is garbage.
1
Like,
meter
make-
still
make-
useful.
20 feet of bright
by the
light followed
presence of
20
the
feet
thought.
of dim light.
Yeah,
Dim light is like you can see shadowy forms because your eyes adjust to grayscale after a certain distance. So
20,
you can
20
basically
feet of
see
dim light is automatic disadvantage on perception checks.
Yeah, you can
The-
see motion, but that's pretty much it.
the
I
presence
think
of
we
the
all
torch
agree that
makes
it's-
long distance night vision even worse. Basically,
Yes.
if you didn't have the torch at all, then your eyes might begin to adjust to the dim light that would be coming from the stars, except there's over canopy because you're in a jungle, so it's basically complete darkness.
The advantage is that like the ground is at least hospitable to receiving tracks.
Yes, so your base ob is 1, right? So your base ob is following fresh tracks on soft earth, right? Which is ob
Right.
1. If you're doing this in the middle of the day with like no other
Mm.
factors, then it would be pretty easy. But
It's ob 2,
this
but
is your Duel of Wits result.
it's
So
ob 2, by the way. It's
Hmm?
not ob 1, it's ob 2.
no, fresh tracks on soft earth is ob 1.
No, it's ob 2. Oh yeah, first strike's
Page
all.
3
I
of-
was looking at the determining number of creatures. So first strike's
that will
also-
double to up 2 because you don't have the skill. And then additional complications will be +4 Rob. But
So
you've
it's
got
basically-
3 helping dice.
Right, so 3 helping dice.
But this is still a completely obtainable roll.
Somewhat. Up 3. No, I'm not putting any earth in it. Base up is 1. For double additional complications was 4.
And before you roll, just to get this. Yes. So success, I think, is you you met 2. Well done. What was the
equals
2 for?
It's a calculator. Sorry.
Oh, yeah,
I
okay.
wasn't meaning to distract you.
You completely failed to not distract me. I'm sorry.
You were in the middle of explaining what the failure consequence and success was.
Yes. So success, I think. You managed to follow Panther. Like you follow the tracks through the night, and you find out. You'll know where he's gone, and will be like outside of that location presently, but like by morning, let's say. On failure, I think basically 2 things happen on failure. First, you're horribly lost. You get turned around. You start following something that isn't the right tracks. And it will only be more. You'll only realize by morning once you actually like can see again, and maybe you get up onto a higher area and you realize roughly where you are and that like this doesn't make any sense. There's that caveat of like asking questions about Arkan's behavior, and I think that getting lost time will give Panther the opportunity then to progress his agenda.
His agenda being a little bitch.
Okay, so he'll get to do some stuff, and then we can still go to where he is.
Potentially, yeah.
If we're fast enough.
Yeah.
Okay, so come on, good rolls. That's a really good roll.
Oh yeah, you're still wounded.
You're wounded. Yeah, I forgot about that.
That's
Yes,
still a really good roll. So,
so
I'm
you've got a 6.
a pop a nice little fate
All right.
in there because pray for my success, people.
Nice. Okay.
There is
So, Rob, you were helping, right? So mark a challenging test for.
Oh, yeah, that means I get to advance my tracking by 1.
Nice, challenging orienteering test.
I get tracking 2, guys. 2 more tests, and then I get tracking 4.
Yeah, I
Oh,
could have
tracking.
taken that challenging perception test there. But instead,
Okay, about challenging.
Okay, so yeah, it takes you the whole night. And depending on what your next action is, I may call for like fort tests or something to persist being awake. But you follow the tracks back, and they're not particularly like you see very little attempt, especially I think as the dawn is coming in and you get to see a bit more clearly again. Very little attempt on Panther's part to like properly cover his tracks. Like he wasn't thinking or was just desperately running through the forest. and they lead. They lead back to Atuan. I think it gets to like the sun is just peeking over the horizon, and golden light shines down, and you come at that moment to a little outcropping just above the town, and you see it like lit up in the morning light, and it seems, at least in the following the direction that they're headed, that they continue further down and into the town. At which point, they would be on solid earth, and you'd have a much harder time tracking them. But yeah, all signs so far seem to point to Panther being back in Atuan.
All right. I'll turn to the rest of the compadre, the group. Let's say, judging by the tracks, he's headed back or is back in Antoine.
I'm almost a little disappointed.
Were you expecting a grandiose fight in the forest? Fight with an unseeable beast?
No, I was merely expecting someone under my guidance to make a better decision than to return to a known hiding place.
Well,
No,
we can
the
persist
Wyld
on, or
has a lot of places to hide here. It's not a small town. Well, I mean, by your standards, but there's still a lot of places he could be.
if we persist on, we'll be able to find them quicker. But we could rest and then track them in the morning. But I believe in persisting on.
I may have another plan. Rest is important, and perhaps after we have rested, we will have fresher minds to discuss it. But I do have some idea of how to proceed.
And that is?
Well, it is clear that we have two tasks. The task we were sent here to do, and the task of keeping track of this anathema. There is no reason that we cannot pursue both at the same time. Remember, one of our, or rather, several of our company are better suited to dealing with matters of the more arcane and mysterious, whilst others are more suited towards the simpler tasks, tracking and observation. People that, unlike perhaps ourselves, can pass amongst the members of the general populace without arousing quite so much interest.
Eel, remember who you're talking about. This isn't some unknown target.
No.
Sending one of the men, he recognized them. If we're going to find him, we have to be ready for him to run away. It's unlikely that... Well, if he sees that he's being followed...
Well, what I suggest is simply that we continue hunting him. He'll tire like we do. We may catch him when he is vulnerable. But if we rest, we might have an easier chance at finding him. Somewhat. I just don't want to let him get away.
Well, Viper, how are you feeling? Can you keep going?
I'm slightly wounded, that is all.
Eel?
Tiredness, though that is no stranger.
And you, Arcan?
I've ridden halfway across from the sea back to my hometown once. Took me 3 days. It would have taken you 6. I will keep going.
Alright, keep going, it is.
I don't want to let the bargain that we made down. Coming to this town, finding where he's hidden himself. I want to show you that I'm keeping my word to you.
I don't think there was any doubt. So I guess we're pressing on then.
Viper,
Damn.
Arkan
Yes.
thinks that he's successfully tricked everyone into thinking that his... Because you didn't let on that you were annoyed at him. So he thinks that he's successfully tricked everyone. So he's like smiling now as he goes down into the town.
I don't think Viper cares enough.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so I will ask that if you're pressing on, then
Fort tests.
4 tests. Yeah.
Bob, what?
So I think pretty easy. I'm generally thinking the way to do this would be like cumulative obs based on the number of days you've been awake. So for 1 day, it's just ob 1.
That
Okay.
should not be
Fort
the case.
test.
Up on four.
That should not be the case. Why not?
No, because like actually try stay. Like I think it should definitely be harder than ob 1 for 1 day.
I think maybe up 2 is a hard.
Yeah. Okay. Let's
I
say
think it should be. It should be
start at ob 2 and then +1 per day, maybe.
I think
Yeah.
ob 3, right? Is
Well, my
whole
failure
night's sleep.
condition. My failure condition is you just like effectively take a superficial wound.
Yeah, so you're being really kind with this. If that's your like, if it's a low failure condition like that, then like
I
I'd
think
raise the
it's
op.
understandable because we're like it would be different if it was just like a regular mortal.
The way that our not being regular mortals is represented is the fact that we have bull's high stats.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like it's also an attempt
No.
to the normal mortals. It like most things, so we can do things that most mortals struggle
the
to.
ob is the ob is the ob is the ob though, so it doesn't matter what you would get bonuses from bonus dice and nothing more. I guess basically the book says that fort can be used to do this. It doesn't give any obs for how to do it. So I'm spitballing at 1 or 2. If we think it's more reasonable to say it should be 3, then fine.
I honestly think it should start at 2 and add for how many days.
I would say so too, because then it's like 5 days with no sleep is ob 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that brings it into a
And like
Yeah.
and, like even 2 days without no sleep is ob 5, and that's still like for mortals is tough.
Yeah. So we'll start at ob 2, and the failure condition will be a superficial wound for you until you sleep, basically.
Aye.
Yeah. Can't wait to fail this.
Okay, so it's ob 2, and I take +1 because I have been wearing reinforced leather armor the whole time. So
Yeah. That's a good point.
Oh,
Oh,
so,
boy.
so I need to.
You've got a 6 there.
I'm at ob 3 as well. Yeah, so I'm gonna open that 6.
I'd like everyone to look at my roll.
Oh wow, triple 1.
Trip ones.
You make stunt. Do a big stunt.
he has to.
you
That's
gonna
a hell
do?
of a big stunt. Because he has to open end it first, which does
Oh,
nothing.
I feel as well.
Okay.
We can stunt it
Wait, why do you
eel.
need more than it?
No,
because I'm obviously because I'm wearing
Yeah,
reinforced
he's
leather
also
as well.
wearing armor.
Yeah.
sorry.
I want to stunt.
You want to stunt.
I want to stunt.
Okay. How do you stunt?
So I'm starting to get like really tired. I'm starting to like fatigue. I turn to Arkan and I say, Arkan, perchance do you have one of those fruits?
Dude, that's not a stun. That's
No,
a
I'm not finished.
mechanical effect. I'm telling you right now.
Let me
Arkan
let me finish.
uses it. He's like laughing at you, just like his eyes wide open. He's like, did they never make you
No,
march
give
in
me it.
heavy armor in the House of Bells?
Me the fruit, please. Just give me a fruit, please. Arkan.
What kind of training did they make you do?
Arkan, just give me the fruit.
I'm not gonna give you a man.
Arkan,
What do you want this for?
just give me the fruit. Please, I need to
Tell me-
stay awake.
Tell me what you want it for.
I will show you. I will give you a visible demonstration if you just give me the fruit. Please.
Arkan's gonna like push her on the chest. It's like you didn't train properly in the House of Bells, did you?
Arkan, are you wishing for me to punch you right now? I'm asking very simply for a simple fruit.
No. Fruit are not. Are you
I
mad?
think that's my stunt. I think that's
No,
my
I
stunt.
think the nature of the way that you led into that kind of gives the opportunity to Ollie to deny that to you.
So
No,
let me
that's just
explain.
like, what were you asking? What did you want it for?
My intent was to grab the fruit and squeeze its juices into my eyeballs to stay awake.
That's not how that works.
Yeah, I'm really glad I stopped you from doing this.
Well, think of it
Um,
this way. That was my stunt. Arguing with Arkan really woke me up.
I think
No.
I think you can probably, like, if you squeezed it into your eyeballs, that probably would have just worked, right? No matter, like, it probably would have had the effect you wanted on top of like whatever other effects it had.
Yeah, on
immediately,
the flip side, you now have 4 eyeballs.
right? Yeah. I don't think that's a stunt
Okay,
to do.
Fred, my stunt
tiredness.
was arguing with Arkan enough that it filled me with adrenaline, and so
Mm.
now I'm no longer tired because arguing with Arkan has infuriated me enough to stay awake. I think that is my stunt. I think that's a reasonable stunt.
Disagree strongly.
No, because if you get in an argument with someone, you're
I feel
like
like
true.
stunts ought to be things you do yourself. And you're
Yeah,
like,
like
I'm gonna reach
given
back into
given
my
that it
past.
comes from fate, like which
And,
is a
like-
purely internal thing.
like does like slapping my face work? Or does like as I'm walking, I like do the thing where I fall asleep for a second and I have that dream where like I'm falling, and so like I just like stop, and it's enough to keep me awake. Does that count as?
I think you're thinking about these stunts completely the wrong way.
Look, there's no look.
feel
The
like-
way
I feel like
stunts
this-
work.
The classic opportunity where we can say it's clear that Scott can't think of anything.
No, I've thought of things. I have ways that I'm staying awake. No, they're
you're
not.
you're
like, none of them
stretching. You're,
work,
you're reaching. Yeah.
No,
Like,
because
a
these are
cool
ways
thing you're
I've
doing,
stayed awake.
but-
I mean, here's the thing: it's hard to stunt for a fucking fort test,
Yeah.
honestly. Like, so
I'm trying my damn best here.
If I was Viper, do you know how I would have stunted? And you can't use this. I would have sung a marching song.
yeah,
No, Viper can't sing.
Doesn't matter.
doesn't
Doesn't
matter.
matter. It keeps you going. It
Viper's
would be a
legally
realistic stunt within your character.
Yeah.
okay. I don't start a marching song. I start a march.
No,
No,
we've
can't
moved
have
on.
that.
We've moved on.
We've
Take
moved
take the wound.
I fucking had my goddamn good ways of doing that there.
You could've
That's
left your
No,
own
because
No, it was terrible.
I've made it quite clear that the fruit have very different properties than caffeine.
Yeah.
So
Viper doesn't know that. Viper thinks they're just weird looking fruit.
sure,
glad
but
that we've
you're
got
the
someone-
player doing the stunt.
I'm glad that we've got someone responsible in charge of this.
Okay,
group.
if I give a better one, I've
No,
got
we've
one
moved
more.
on.
Arcan.
We're moving on. Okay. um. Right. So, you head into town.
Eel is just like flagging like really badly behind everyone else.
Are you wounded, Eel? I can't remember.
I'm not wounded. I have my fatigue wound.
Yeah, you're tired, right? You're superficial.
Yeah, I have superficial wound. Yeah.
Mm. Oh, but yes, your fort is permanently lower at the moment because of your long-term wound.
Yes.
Yes, I remember. Jen says we're a bunch of contrary bitches.
Yeah, Jen's fucking right.
Uh,
I'm sorry, I stand with Jen on this.
mm,
I'm gonna piss in your shoes.
I feel like
well, like okay, so on the one hand, I'm thinking, well, yes, we let the dice decide whether it's a stunt or not, but to a lesser degree, like intent and task do still apply, and what you are saying that you want to do has to still, be relatively believable, or
The
like
things
fall
I have
within
said
the
are
realm of
relatively
reason.
believable. Having an argument with someone wakes you up. That dream where you're falling and you're just janked
I
awake.
mean, my question is actually like from a real outgame perspective, why the fuck are we saying you're not allowed to use a marching song? Like honestly, like
Yeah,
like just use a marching song. Like we came up with a good idea together. We should have just been like, hey, here's a thing you could do. Because we thought of something. You were obviously wanted to do a stunt. And like
yeah, sure.
you're meant to
That
think of
makes-
it yourself, but like we could have just helped you there.
Um,
This isn't that big a deal, so
Yeah,
just,
I
like,
don't
yeah.
care enough about this.
I do. It gives me a +1 up.
if you want to roll stun dice, then
No, it's
then
fine.
go
You
for it.
said we've passed it. Fine, we're on to the next scene.
So yeah, first off, Arcan, who's feeling perky and bright, is going to lead us down into the town square where it's dawn. So the soldiers that I posted to keep watch on this town ought to be like one of them, the one who's taking the morning watch. Actually, no, I said one to the inn and one to the town square. So yeah, they ought to be blearily like making their way out of the inn, holding like some food in their hands, ready to like start their day 2 of day 3, I guess, of like watching out for nothing in particular.
We should ask them if they've seen any anathema.
Yeah, and like Arkan marches up to the Shikari, who I guess salutes him. Do we do salutes in the Wild Hunt? I guess we don't salute. I don't think that. I think that's a bit too military.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you might do under a different captain, but under Eel, you probably don't.
No.
Like, there's probably like a little bow, but that's it.
Especially not under Eel, under Arkan.
Yeah.
They're just too confused. Any lingering salutes in their bodies have been crushed. Yeah. Well, Shikari, have you seen anything?
What news from the Night Watch?
Hmm. He yeah, I suppose he maybe doesn't bow or salute per se, but probably still turns to attention and like stands a bit more upright.
Stops eating his bread. Yeah.
And yeah, he looks at you and says, I have seen the townsfolk going about their daily duties. I have seen strange mangled dogs and other creatures walking the streets at night, among other things. I have seen underhanded dealings down back alleys. I've seen all the things that a town like this has to see. Nothing of interest, per se.
Last night you were staying at the tavern, yes?
Yes.
Did you hear anyone come in? Very early in the morning, it would have been. Perhaps only an hour ago.
Shakes his head.
Go back there now. Check Panther's things.
Panther, sir?
See that they're all still there.
Nods. Are you all there, like next
Yes.
to him? And I guess the Shikari as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess he notices that Panther isn't with you all, because nobody else died in your escapades, right?
No, miraculously.
So he like
We haven't killed anyone yet.
says
Shikari actually have 100% survival rate so far.
Yeah.
so far, yeah. Says is he okay?
He's alive.
That's good. Yes, I can check on his things. Is that all?
Before you go, fetch a bowl of white rice.
Nods. Says rice is harder to come by here.
Then whatever will do.
Nods again and then turns and heads towards the brothel.
Eel's just muttering under her breath, like, in what world is white rice hard to come by? Oh!
Alright.
Shikari Wolverine. I need you to take a message to the.
Are you saying this before he leaves? Sorry.
No, this is the other.
The other.
Okay, so you
Yeah.
skip over town to the other one.
Wolverine's with us still.
I thought Wolverine stayed in town.
Yeah, no, Wolverine was the other member in town.
Wolverine's the other one. Okay, yeah. So I turn to another of our Shikari and I say, you take a message to the magician who lives in this town. Get in contact with the hunt. Tell him what's happened so far. It's important that they know that we've not finished our mission, but we've entered a stage where it's possible that we will all die, and they will have no knowledge of what happened. Tell him that Masata is ill, that we found the previous Wyld hunt and that they were making it worse, that they were selling healing fruits to someone, and that there is a soldier from the 47th Legion who the hunt should ask more questions about this if she is seen in the realm ever again. Tell them to forward this message to the 47th as well. I shouldn't like Honoria to have too warm a welcome.
She's nodding while you're saying all of this, and then says, with respect, sir, can Noshua be trusted? He was a Catholic, yes?
I hadn't thought of that.
Well, Arcan, you can go and make sure he sends the message properly.
How would we know? Tell him to send the message.
She nods and begins to depart.
I'm gonna.
Maybe that with the other Kathaks killed, if Noshua is a traitor, he will play along.
I doubt he is a traitor.
I doubt it too, but
Even if it goes so far that he has no more allies.
Alright, and then I'm trying to think other ways we can find. I guess we'll like stop a random citizen.
Yeah, good luck with that because none of us speak the language.
No, I speak one.
Oh
of
no,
the
no,
languages.
you do speak one.
and I think I speak. Do I
Yeah,
speak both or
you
just
speak
the
I
other?
think between you can speak to the locals, yeah.
Yeah,
I think I speak the other one.
I keep forgetting Viper knows one of them.
Gonna ask one of the local villagers if they saw a man befitting Panther's build look. Sliminess. Suspicious aura.
So is this the way we're going to do it? Because we're not going to find the first person, right? So like, is the way that we like the first person is going to say, "I've never heard what you said talking about." So is the
Yeah.
way that we want to find Panther just by going and asking around a lot of people, and then possibly paying a bribe, or something to like get the information we want, or can we think of a better way to do it?
Well, because like, there's only a couple of places he could be.
It's a medium-sized village, so like I think
If he wanted to hide, right? If he wanted to hide somewhere completely where he could blend in, maybe the best place is where all those sick people are. Because if I wanted to evade detection, and I knew there was a big bundle of sick people that no one wanted to go near, that's where I would go.
That is a sound
think-
assessment.
good thinking, Viper. The question is, do we want to? Well, it's got too many doors for us to bottle him in.
Well, we either disguise ourselves as fellow sick people, or we go in and round them up, or well, he's going to make an attempt to escape anyway. I think that we should leave some of the Shikari outside to keep a watch, and if we can't find him, then he may not be in that place.
I would be cautious. I would not deploy all of our resources to one location when we are unsure. It would be best to confirm his whereabouts before proceeding.
Well, we can attempt to smoke him out.
But if he is not there, we have committed a lot of resources and made a lot of noise. It's entirely possible he is somewhere else and slips away while we do so. It is better to verify his location first. I can do that.
And how do you plan on doing that?
I am exceptionally skilled at stealth, and I know that temple like the back of my hand.
I do not believe it would be wise to send you in by yourself.
Oh, I'm not suggesting sending myself alone. I am merely suggesting dividing our resources.
I disagree. I think sending Eel alone is exactly the right decision. After all,
I would like
we can't
to...
just leave the rest of the town unwatched.
Well, Arkan, you're a careful individual. I believe that you could take the Shikari and investigate other points of interest that he may be hiding in within the town. Because does my tracking roll help point me in any direction he would have went to? Because I know he's in the town.
Yeah,
but
we know he's in the town.
Yeah, that's the result of the test.
Right. So we know he's in the town.
And I suppose a cursory look around the town when you arrived, if you want to be really thorough, it doesn't seem like he's left. But that would be a lot harder to properly determine.
Yeah.
By my count, there are 8 of us. That makes 4 teams of 2. That would be the most logical method of dividing our forces.
I think that I'm also very capable of being stealthy. I think that if we want to investigate the temple, that I can accompany you, Eel.
I was thinking perhaps that you might, or perhaps Arkan may be best leading a more direct approach. As you suggested, speaking to the villagers may yield something, and it is bound to rattle a few cages.
Well, if we rattle the cage, she'll attempt to escape somehow. And...
Viper,
yes?
walking around in the town, if, as we think, he's hiding in the temple, he'd have no way to know. Going around in the temple, if he's hiding in the town, he'd have no way to know. I think it's best if we do both of those. We're as likely to be successful in one.
We could also attempt to bait him out.
Bait him how?
Well,
if I were him, my main thoughts would be that I was being hunted, followed. I would try and escape. We don't have enough men to
judging by...
attempt to trick him into thinking that we've left and then catch him. There's too many directions he could flee.
Judging by what I've seen, I don't think he's left. I think he's still here. I think that if Arkan, you continue looking around town, speaking to locals, and if you find anything, then you can come back. If you hear anything, anyone say anything about where he's gone, then potentially you can, well, run to the temple and call for us.
Do any of the other Shikari speak this language?
We would have to circle them and find out.
Because I want them to not be able to speak this other language right now.
I think without a circles test, I'm happy to just say that they can't, yeah.
Cool. Arkan's going to nod his head. He's going to say, I'll go and speak some of the others. Some of the... What's the ethnicity? I can't remember.
Brakani
Brakani.
or
Yeah.
there's a number of
Brakani is the
Vatsperdani people here as
so
well.
Brakani is the language that I speak.
Yeah.
I'm going to speak to some of the Brakani citizens. Viper, I expect you to be out of that temple in an hour, no more. If you can't find anything in that time, we'll assume he's not there. We'll meet here again. Viper, whether you go with Eel or work on some other way of finding him, it's up to you. And I trust your judgment.
I will accompany you, and then I have another place that he may have gone to.
Yeah, if we haven't found him in the first hour, we'll need alternatives.
Yes. The other, if you go and investigate, the other possibility is that. No, sorry, I can't think of any other place.
Okay. Cool. So, I think we break.
Okay.
I think.
So Eagle's going to the temple. Viper's going with her.
Yeah, and I'm gonna send the Shikari to like the like the remaining Shikari. I'm just gonna send them home to the inn to like sleep.
Yeah, fair.
Oh, thanks.
I mean, like we've got two I'm gonna send them to the inn to like rest. I'm gonna tell them to send the two Shikari
Get
who
Wolverine and the other one.
get Wolverine and the other one to the town square in an hour. Like
once
get them up.
finished doing their errands.
Yeah, like they
Okay.
get them to the town square in an hour. And then I'm going to spend the next hour going around different like I think I'm pretty much approaching people cold. Actually, how do we feel about circling up people that we've met before, but like we don't have in our circles, right?
How do you mean?
Well, because like I actually have a person that I like have met, like the farmer who's taking care of our horses.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Right.
Oh, so you mean like you don't share a setting with them, but you've met them
Yes.
previously as an NPC? Yes. Okay. So I pretty much my kind of default on that is okay. Well, now you know who they are.
Yeah.
You can now attempt to circles them again, even if you would normally not share any life paths with them.
Okay. Because what I want to do here is, I think probably a circles roll to find someone that I already know makes sense. Is I want to find someone who will spread a rumor for me among the Brakani, like that if they see Panther, tell him that I want to help him. Like
Okay.
I will reward whoever can, like if Panther comes to me and like talks to me because of this, I will reward the person who told them that.
Okay.
And I don't know if a circles is the best way. Probably is.
Circles probably is the best thing to do there. It's using circles to basically achieve an intent.
Yeah.
That is slightly separate from finding an individual, but I think is still a use of the same skill set.
Okay.
Or ability set. Plus, you're dying for circles tests, so let's think.
I'm actually not. I can't advance circles for like forever because I need a routine.
Yeah.
I need an odd one test.
Is it likely to be odd one?
I don't think so.
You're basically going around the. You're not exactly putting up like a warrant notice. It's not like you're pinning Panther's face on a board and saying, I will reward you if you bring this man to me. You're not a sheriff per se, but you're basically trying to spread rumors with this skill, or spread word through the village faster than you would be able to do by yourself. What are your life paths again? Just remind me.
So my settings is so life paths: Born Wild, Rider, Galley Slave, Wood Exalted, Mounted Warrior, Paychap Stare. So literally nothing.
Nothing in a
crossover
village. Okay,
in
yeah.
a village.
So yeah, you're basically wanting them to have the disposition of like helping you to spread this this message around.
Yeah.
So we'll call it up to.
Okay.
Which I think, and I'll say your Wild Hunt affiliation can be used here if you want to.
I would like to use my Wild Hunt affiliation here. Like this is what's getting people to turn. Like I'm walking up to people in tea shops and being like, I'm wearing armor and looking
and then
dangerous.
The other thing you can do if you would like to is make a linked test with an appropriate wise. Because that's how you get routine tests on circles rolls.
Yeah.
That's the only other source of bonus dice.
I don't have anything that I'm already working on, and I wasn't planning anything here, so I'm going to skip that. So I guess that's 2 versus 2. I could spend Persona, but I want to know what the failure condition is here.
Let's think.
One of them is that this gets back to Eel and Viper, right? That's I think that's probably a part of it, easily.
What are your beliefs again?
So this is relevant to my second belief, which is I mean all 3 of them is I want to go and talk to the guy in the tavern who is from the north and might be like related to the plague. Number 2 is Panther was a good soldier. I can feel nothing but pity for him. And number 3 is I want to have a conversation with Eel, like personally, and get her to act on her like desires more, and like be more assertive about things.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. I think that probably is the most interesting failure condition then. The like what goes around comes around, and you know, a Bracani person speaks to a Vasperden person, and then like on their way out of the temple, Viper ends up hearing the rumor being passed across the street or whatever, you know.
Like, oh, the Wild Hunt are looking for this guy. Apparently, the leader of the Wild Hunt wants to help him. Somehow.
Yeah. Or there's actually probably Chinese whispers would be like, you know, there's a big reward involved.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would probably Chinese whispers it a bit as well.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I guess success is that word successfully makes it to Panther.
Cool. I'm gonna burn 1 Arthur on this.
And I was just trying to check the log about that foreign languages test to see if you exceeded the OB.
No clue.
But I can't find it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I believe so, because I seem to remember it being that Arcan could speak to everyone.
Yeah. Well, I feel like that's just let it ride on foreign languages.
I don't
yeah, possibly.
particularly care that much because I passed this circles roll. So, yeah, I go in, I make a show of
Well,
like
it
jingling.
might advance your circles if you want to roll one more dice.
Oh,
That's why it might matter.
yeah, you're right. Hang on.
Yeah, you got one success above the ob.
Shit, dude. I
So
get.
if you want to roll one more die, go for it.
I want to roll one more die and advance my circles to 2. Oh, wow. That's a circles rating of 2. This feels so good.
Nice.
I am very sympathetic towards people with a B1 in something.
I need to stop buying things.
How sympathetic do you feel about my B0 in resources?
No, that's different.
Resources is designed to be awful.
Yeah.
That's okay. I'm a monk.
Yeah, you swore an oath of poverty, right?
I've got resources too. I'm richer than Eel.
You're like as rich as a peasant farmer.
Yep. That's what I've dedicated my life to, being as rich as a peasant fucking farmer.
Yeah, I mean, if you go home, you get to live a noble life, right? But this is your personal resources, which is
Yeah.
This is the money I keep on me.
cool.
We're gonna get a tax eventually.
So yeah, I get the message. Like, I think I go into go up to market schools, talk to the people like buying and selling things. Like,
and I think you're still like early in the morning, so some people are setting up their stalls and stuff, and you get the like early rumors in.
Yeah, I describe I tell them about the guy who was like watching the the town square for the last 2 days. I was like, he will be dressed almost exactly like this, possibly only wearing the underclothes. He won't have changed yet. He won't look like you. He's definitely not the same ethnicity. He probably won't speak your language. If he's hiding in a upstairs room somewhere, just get him this message. I will. If he comes to me, he talks to me, he's got a problem and we need to sort it. I'll spread my generosity around, I'll spread my gratitude around, and then I wink.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I think that rumor successfully makes it to Panther, and we will see the result of that. Let's cut over to what Eel and Eel and Viper are doing, and maybe set that roll up, and if there is one, and then take a break.
Yep, sounds good to me.
Take a break.
Yep.
Take a break.
So what are you two doing?
Stealthing.
Precisely. What's the intent?
My intent is to show Viper the back door that I entered through previously, and navigate the inside of the temple, keeping an especial eye out for anything that looks out of place or looks like what's the best way to describe it? Yeah, but basically we are stealthing into the temple to see if there is any signs that maybe there was something going down in here, like a man running and hiding for his life.
One of the lepers who's suspiciously being avoided by the other lepers, right?
Yeah.
They're not avoiding each other.
Yeah.
They're all equally ill. So
Because I think I can do a thing which will make me finding him a little bit easier.
What do you think you can do?
Nothing actually.
You like we've passed the point of no return. You can't mutate yourself in order to blend in.
What?
right?
Why
You don't
can't
have
I
access
wrap
to
my body in fruits and become like a six-legged, five-armed, eight-eyed
No,
mutant?
no one will suspect that I am not a mutant.
Just let me become a mutant is my dream. Sure, I'll get shunned by the realm, but I've got 8 legs. You know what that means? Please finish the reference. One of yous.
8 armpits.
No, 8 legs.
Hang on,
7
how many armpits do you
vaginas.
have? What?
None of you seen that video?
But like,
No interest in that.
like having more legs doesn't give you like if you're a spider.
No, it's part of a fucking meme video. I swear
But-
to Jesus.
But it's a like this meme is wrong.
Wait, what
It's
was
dumb.
what was it? I missed it.
8 legs, 7 vaginas.
What if the legs go around in a circle? Then it
Yeah.
would be 6.
It would be. Wow, that's also true.
It's
Or one central. vagina.
Listen here.
you just not know the damn meme. 8 legs,
We don't, 'cause it's
7 vaginas.
Hey Jen, if you're watching, can you
Not
look up if
watching.
there's any animals that have like more than one vagina? We need.
I'm just
What would be the
gonna
purpose?
Like,
Anyway,
let's
carry
discuss
on.
this afterwards, right? You just need to see Ariel needs legs.
Okay.
So disappointing. So what are we doing here?
Setting up a role.
Setting up a
Saying,
role.
what role do we
Will
want
is trying to decide what role he's trying to make. Or we're trying to make.
Yeah. Tell me more about like what you want. While I think.
Well, I want to be able to sit there stealthily and observe. So I guess the first role is to be sneaky.
I don't know that there's much point. Like, is your intent to like observe from an upper level and like just wait and watch, or is it to like go through the temple and like pass unseen among the people and like recognize him but not be recognized?
Yeah, I mean, like, I literally just want to stealth through the place.
No, that's not on like yeah. So, are you trying to sneak through with it?
Sneak through, not hide in plain sight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Be sneaky.
Because I'm actually not very good at hiding in plain sight.
Okay. Yeah. So you're wanting the
I kind
task
of
to be
found
stealthy, and your intent was to like find something interesting.
Yeah, just to see if there's like obvious signs of something being out of place.
Oh yeah.
Like a man who is sitting in the corner by himself, who looks suspiciously like he might be wearing armor under all of those baggy
A man
clothes.
who's sitting suspiciously close to
Yeah,
other
so-
people.
I think saying you want to find interesting clues is different from saying I want to find him, because I think there's a different op there, right? I think like signs of his passage.
Yeah. Like I'm not
ambiguous.
allowing an RB yet, which is I want to find Panther. I'm not allowing that as an intent yet, because it's like too broad at the moment. You're still as you said, you're still trying to even figure out where it could be.
So then I guess I want to find I want to, well, I don't even want to find evidence that he was here. I want to find something that
You want to find something relevant.
yeah, like
Yeah.
I want to eliminate
One way or
this place
another.
as a hiding spot,
Hmm.
whether I am correct or incorrect.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably a better way of putting it.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, let's take a break. I'm gonna think about this because obviously I know where Panther is. So
I'm glad that you've decided already. That's very fair of you.
Yeah.
Right.
How
So-
long are you intending to keep things going? Well, how are you feeling?
let's see. Yeah, so it's now 9:15. I think if we take a 5 or 10 minute break, and then aim to be done as in closing the session, like ending the stream done by like 10:30.
Okay.
Works for me.
So I suppose, what is that, like after the break, another hour, say.
Yep. Cool with that.
Cool.
Cool. I really need to be.
So I've already linked your homework.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
But yeah, I linked the homework that everyone needs to listen to watch, to experience.
I am back.
Well done.
Only person not back is Will.
He's
Can't
fallen
believe
asleep by accident.
Will has abandoned us.
I'm also getting very tired.
Um,
Yan, yan, yan.
it's only 9:30.
Yeah, but I'm usually in my bed by this time.
Really?
Usually in bed by 9:30. Wow.
What time do you get up?
About 7ish.
Okay. Yeah, I get up about 7, but I like go to sleep at 10:30.
Well, because I like to lay in my bed for like an hour and I fall
Right.
asleep usually by 11. So it gives me about 8 hours sleep.
I get up at 7:30 and go to bed at 1 in the morning because I'm
Right.
stupid and I hate myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not healthy.
I mean, clearly your job's like, you know, not hard enough.
Wow. I mean, my job is very difficult, but I just don't get tired as easily.
Yeah.
I like 8 hours sleep. It refreshes me. It makes me feel better.
I like 8 hours sleep, but I also like enjoying myself and playing video games.
I like sleeping. Plus, I usually listen to stuff on when I get up. I make my way to classes. And I do my classes, and then I head home. But I don't walk home, I get the bus.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back.
I'm
There
glad
he
you're
is.
back.
Did no one watch their homework?
No.
No. More important things to do with my life.
No, there isn't.
Watch what?
Minimize this and go back to the game.
Okay. I have lemon meringue pie.
Congratulations.
You're living your best life.
This was. This is the good timeline.
The lemon meringue line.
Yeah.
Alright. I love lemon-based things.
So. So you're making a stealthy check with the intent to find something interesting slash relevant.
Yes.
So I'm gonna take this as an opportunity to expand that slightly and make it that on success you will find something interesting and relevant to the larger situation as a whole.
Mhm.
Not necessarily Panther specifically. Though it may somehow circle back to Panther.
Okay.
On failure, you still find something, but it's like a new thing. It complicates the situation further.
Okay.
Well, I think either way it will complicate the situation further, but it will be more external on failure. Does that sound interesting? I know it's quite vague, but
yeah, sure, why not?
So yes, a stealthy test. Is Viper's tagging along? Is Viper helping in some way?
I will help, but I want to do my own thing.
How so?
Because I want to stealth in as well.
Yeah, so you help with stealthy.
Yeah, I want to stealth in as well, but I don't want to do what like y'all's doing. My intent is different.
What are you wanting to do? And we might just tell you not to do it.
Well, I was going to use my observation skill, which I have a B5 in, and observe for anything that looks you know, like what we're looking for.
So it sounds like what you want to do is help with observation.
Yeah.
No,
Which is great because
because
it gives 2 dice because you've got a B5 in it,
kids like
right?
not really.
Well, we don't get to
What's
do
you're
2.
saying the same intent?
Because my
Yeah.
intent is similar, but like what I get out of it is not.
Is a different test, right? That's what you're looking for. Is you're trying to dig 2 tests out of one intent.
No,
Okay.
like because what Eel gets out of this is finding like information which relates to the larger thing at hand. I'm only looking out to see if I can find I'm only looking to see if I can find Panther. Like that's my intent.
Okay, you don't find Panther, and you're.
Okay.
Like that. Yeah, that's basically. I'm saying no to that intent. There isn't a test that you can make there because he's not in the building. But I suppose in doing that, you're also not helping Eel.
Yeah,
Then?
because I'm looking for something different.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so Eel, then just make a stealthy check on your own.
Okay.
And it'll be versus an unknown observation or an unknown observer.
Okay. So, can I fork my own observation?
Yeah, given the nature of this intent, yeah.
Okay. There is very little else that I can. Okay. I will roll my stealthy with 1 help. And
Let me decide how many dice to roll first.
okay. I haven't decided if I'm going to spend persona yet.
Yeah, I'll say 6 dice.
Okay. I should probably roll some persona then. Gosh. I actually,
How many dice have you got so far?
I've got 4 so far.
Oh, and you're at +1 off because you're.
I know +1 off because I'm exhausted. Oh, I fail this either way, don't I?
You've got a
You
deed.
could roll badly. It does happen.
You've got a deeds.
Oh yes, but I suppose it's a contested roll, not a. So
Yeah, it's not your ob isn't 6. Yeah,
I will spend a persona.
it could be 6 if he gets all successes, but
Yes, I will spend a persona.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's 1 persona into my stealthy. That's good actually, because I could. So, do you want to roll first to set my difficulty?
Sure. Yeah. Okay,
Boosh.
3.
This is doable.
Potentially.
Ooh,
You've got a 6. You've got a
Come on.
6.
Well, hang on, I have a call on first.
Oh, you have a colon as well. Yeah.
So
See, that's why you put it in brackets.
yeah, but I know because stealthy is the only thing I have a call on for.
Why didn't you like open end just stealthy beforehand?
There's no point in doing that.
3 6.
See how many 6s you roll first, and then you open end.
Yeah, but I mean with essence.
Oh right,
Because we'd already declared the test.
because we've already deep into this.
Because we've
So
done this for essence before.
I cannot remember. With a call on, do I just re-roll failures?
It's
right?
all failures, yeah. So
Yeah.
in that case, it's 2 dice.
Okay. Why don't I just? Why instead of typing out the macro, I could just roll 2 dice. Wow. Okay. So
Okay, do
I'm
you want
gonna
to spend fate?
I'm gonna spend that fate.
Right.
So that takes me down to 6 fate. Gives me an extra 1 in my stealthy, and I will roll die of fate. Come on, baby, don't fuck me. Yes.
And
Keep
it's a
rolling.
Nice. I'll take it.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So you avoid detection from this unknown third party.
Mm-hmm. What do I witness?
So I think you're wandering through the this part of the building. I think you're up. You're back in that chamber hall that Arkan and Viper were trying to make a speech in before.
Yes.
And it's now kind of it's like morning, like past sunrise, but not quite mid-morning yet, sort of breakfast time for most people, I guess. And there is like a little bit of a breakfast sermon going on, or sermon's the wrong word, but like gathering.
Breakfast gathering, yeah. Did I actually get something to eat before we departed?
I think we can assume so. Oh yeah, because I said that the Shikari finished their errands. So
Yes.
you got brought like a bowl of like millet porridge or something.
Okay. I am mildly less irritable.
Yeah. You're still exhausted though.
Yes.
And yeah, so there's a little like breakfast gathering going on among the folks that are living here, the Utaka. And I think at this point you've split off a bit from Viper because Viper was like looking elsewhere.
Yeah,
Because
Viper has just like
she's
disappeared off
not
behind me, and I'm
helping.
like, fine, whatever.
Yeah. There's a man sitting with a I think they've basically like they're using this upper area as a bit of a kind of communal kitchen / gathering space in general, and then they're treating the like lower crypts as their sleeping quarters where they can find them. So there's a guy sitting. He's got a little stove fire type thing, little campfire, and he's prodding it with a stick, trying to get it going, trying to basically boil a pot of water to make some porridge or something. And there's the sound of like a dog bark come from outside, and he turns his attention to the main door of this room that leads outside to the like top of the temple, and he calls out the name of this dog, and it comes running through into the main hall. I think it's quite a big dog. Like when it wasn't, before it got mutated, it was probably like a hunting dog of sorts. And the thing that strikes you about this dog is its face. It has a human face as part of its kind of fruit mutation.
Mm-hmm.
and it's a face that you recognize.
Okay.
A face that you haven't seen or really thought about for close to a year now. This dog is wearing the face of Azir Kamid. The man who killed Condor.
Like exactly the same?
Yeah, without like you see the dog run in through the hall, and you get like an instant flashback to Azir Kamid's face as he turned towards you when you saw Condor fall to his knees.
Shit. I know. I feel like I need to make a steel test here.
Yeah, sure. If you want. Yeah. Sure.
Because this is like fucking traumatizing.
Steel. So,
I mean, like, you don't actually have to make the test.
no, I guess this would be a marked test. Let's think what it would be, though.
Turning to the page in my swanky new book.
Oh, you got a new book.
Yeah. My belated birthday present.
Nice.
From yours truly.
Hmm.
Probably equivalent to like encountering anthropomorphic monsters, which would be OB4.
Okay, so yeah, that's routine, so I get nothing.
Yeah.
So you
But it's
feel
fine.
briefly surprised, and then you realise that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like you can hesitate, you can voluntarily just hesitate for a few seconds, but there's nothing at stake here, so like,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess
for character reasons you can hesitate.
Yeah, I guess there's like a moment where it's just like it's that moment where like Eel just relives like that like 6 seconds of that moment is just like and then is sort of like snapped back to the fact that she's still there and she's just like
Yeah, and the dog just like runs up to this homeless man and like starts, acting like a dog, and it makes noises like a dog, and it just starts like eating out of a bowl that he puts down on the floor.
okay. I immediately forget in everything about looking for Panther. And I'm going to very stealthily make my way down to the floor.
Below, you mean?
Yeah, I want to talk to this man.
Yeah, I think you can. So what? You just sneak up on him, or?
Like, I want to do that thing where you just sort of like you walk up behind somebody who's like clearly not paying attention because they're not expecting you to be there, and you're just sort of like resting behind them, and then you just like you sort of make just like a really like simple like comment, and they're just sort of like, oh, I didn't realize there was somebody there, and they turn around and then they're like, oh, but you're already engaged in conversation, sort of thing.
Yeah, I guess you managed to spook him, but you can't. Neither of you speak a language.
Fuck. Yeah.
Yeah, that you can. So you just like appear behind him, like in your sort of dazed and confused moment.
Yeah,
you like walk up behind him and try and start talking to him.
Eel
He's
doesn't
just
even
like,
think about the fact that she can't communicate. She just says, "That is an unusual dog."
and he says something that you don't understand, and kind of defensively positions himself between you and the dog, and like you get the impression he's saying something like, "This is my dog, find your own."
Yeah, I guess Eel just sort of like throws up her hands in sort of a I'm no threat to you.
He like detenses a little bit.
Yeah. I guess she tries to mime, sort of like points to herself and says, "I," points to her eyes and then to the dog and sort of says, "I have seen him before," but then there's no gesture for before.
Well, I guess you do. I've seen his face.
Oh yeah, I've seen face.
And then like point at him.
Yeah.
Right? Like, have you seen his face?
Yeah. He I think he just shakes his head.
God, that is contextually very frustrating.
No, I think that's enough, right?
No, but in character, it's contextually very frustrating. Yeah. I guess he'll just sort of casts a look around the room, expecting almost to start seeing other faces that she recognizes.
Yeah. I don't think you do.
See none. No.
No. It's just this dog.
Are you gonna take the dog?
No.
Are you going to kill the dog?
I mean, that would be me.
I mean, Eel has been conditioned under these circumstances of intense stress and pressure to fall back on a logical thought process. So that's what she's doing right now.
Just kill the dog.
I'd say in the interest of role playing, Viper, if you want to like walk into the scene now and just see like Eel leering at this dog.
Yeah.
I guess
like it's clearly obvious that I'm like not hiding anymore. I'm just standing in the middle and like people are just looking at me.
Viper walks in and says, there you are. I've found nothing, so I think it's best if we leave. Also, are you alright? You're staring at a man-faced dog.
I'm sorry?
You're staring at a man-faced dog.
Yes. I don't even...
Well, if you're done here, I'm going to head back and look at other points of interest. Not managed to find anything worthy here.
No, I do not think he is here. Go on without me for a moment. I will follow behind.
Alright then. Just don't take too long. And then Viper just ups and leaves.
Eel just doesn't respond.
Viper is thinking, what's her obsession with dogs?
Do you completely stay there, Rob, or do you eventually follow?
I mean, I'm gonna eventually follow, but I think Eel is gonna like sort of attempt to like socialize is the wrong word, but socialize with the dog.
Yeah.
Isn't that
And
like
it-
really weird for you?
But I want to see if the dog has any reaction to seeing me.
Hmm. I think the dog is generally quite timid. Probably because it was beaten once it mutated and then had to like run away from home.
Well, by the way, it isn't morphing into a man and immediately trying to kill me. I've kind of assessed what I wanted to know.
I think, but yeah, it's
That would be a really tacky disguise. In fact, I'm me.
I mean,
yeah.
eel is not processing quite at the same rate right now.
Just by like general observation and interaction, I think you can observe at least that the dog is behaving like a dog for all intents and purposes, aside from the fact that it has a human head, which is not. That is not out of place with the behavior that you've seen from other animals that have mutations in this area. Particularly those, like, you're far enough away from Misata's influence at this point that he's like not directly mind controlling animals.
Yeah, they're not under his.
Yeah, so it's not like where the animals that you stampeded with were more kind of being puppeteered. Like this one is behaving like a normal animal, except for its deformation.
Yeah.
And I suppose just as a reminder, Azir Khamid was a sort of bronze-skinned man with dark black hair and a trim beard. He was sort of a southern aristocrat of sorts, or at least that was one of the guises of the Luna that you were hunting.
Yeah. I guess Eel just kind of like just talks to herself and sort of says, either you are the most unfortunate hound ever to exist, or you have fallen a long way. Thanks, dogs.
Dogs bark.
It's the dogs barking outside.
No, it's appropriate.
Yeah. Yeah, either you are the most unfortunate hound ever to have existed, or you have fallen a long way. What foul magic is this that taunts me with the face of my foe?
I think we'll cut over to Viper coming back to the market, sort of center square, where an hour or so has passed now, and sort of Viper's coming back to meet up with Arkan, and Eel has not yet followed.
Viper, where's Eel?
She's staring at a dog.
This is very out of character. I just want to make this absolutely clear.
Is it
a good dog?
What kind of dog? Dog with a face of a boy.
I can't do it. Is it a good dog?
She's staring at a man-faced dog.
I suppose we'll have to ask her about that later.
What have you been doing?
I've been asking the folk in the town to let me know. Well, no one really wanted to talk to me.
Alright.
I've not found any sign of him. And neither of our shikari have seen him either.
Well, I'll have a quick look around myself. I'll see if I can talk to anyone.
You said you had an idea of what to do next.
I had a thought of where he could be, but I believe I may be. But there's no way he would know of it.
Tell
I
me your thoughts.
think. No, it's nothing important. I think that we should head back to the inn, see if he's there. If not, don't know of any other important places within town he could be.
There's no point in being embarrassed, even if your idea isn't something that you think is.
Wait. I don't think we necessarily should be looking for someone who looks like Panther. We should be asking if anyone has seen someone other than me with a blue jade sword.
Huh. Not a bad idea. In any case, you're right that we should go back to the inn. I think that we've put enough time today into this issue. There's someone I want to meet. Nishigari mentioned that he'd come into town. Well, it seems that fate is on our side.
Who is it you want me to meet, sorry?
A northerner, a stranger. I think he's the first who's arrived for a few days.
I have zero interest in such person. If they
Right,
cannot
well,
help me find my
Right,
target,
the
then
plague came from the north.
I'm sorry, but right now the plague is second. Maybe what you're interested in, but right now I need to hunt down that thing.
Remember your duty, Viper. You promised that you would accomplish this mission, and chasing after every anathema that you hear of,
This is not
we'd
just
all be
every...
going north to hunt down legendary monsters.
This is not just every anathema.
I realised that. Panther was a friend. It's more difficult when...
Look, I will briefly head to the inn and ask if anyone has seen a blue jade sword anywhere. And
Viper, you are to cease searching the Panther today. This was our agreement. We have attempted to find him. The trail is
we
not cold.
have found
You need
tracks.
to rest.
This is not something I can rest on right now. If I rest, he gets further. He gains power the more we rest.
Viper, I am still fresh. I am still able to work. You are getting worse and worse.
I
can see
am fine. I'm perfectly capable of doing something on my own. A little bit of sleep deprivation is not going to be the end of me.
What will you do when if you find him? If you've spent 3 days chasing around, right now he's asleep. I'll tell you that.
And I will find him while he sleeps and kill him.
You mistake me. I mean, he's asleep. and it's unlikely that wherever he's holed up, he's done so without someone to wake him or a trap.
I
You remember Panther? He was a smooth-tongued man. I think he may have even spoken the local language. It wouldn't be hard
well,
for him to persuade some child to keep watch, wake him up.
I
I
will
believe we also made him paranoid.
Yeah.
I will ask around regardless. If I hear nothing, then I may be inclined to rest.
Hmm. Well, I'll be at the inn as well, so I'll know if you try and spend the rest of the afternoon, rest of the morning, doing anything other than resting.
Sure.
Remember, he's a panther. They move at night.
And I am a vapor. You are an arcan. An eel is an eel. The name means nothing.
Yeah, so I guess we go back to the inn. Like, is
Okay.
Viper totally uninterested in talking to this guy with me?
Yeah, vapor is like not really caring.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, so it sounds like Viper's pushing on belief 2 and Arkan's pushing on belief 1.
As like
But
I
you're
guess.
you're saying you want to do everything you can to hunt him down,
Yeah, I wanna
regardless
do
of your
everything.
associates grumbling.
Yeah,
That sounds pretty close to what you were just saying. So,
yeah.
Yeah, so if you're asking questions in the I think the next scene is probably me talking to this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
If
think
you're asking
also
questions in the inn, I'm fine with that. If you're gonna like walk out of the inn and like start walking around town, Arkan's gonna stop you again and be like, "No, Viper, I'm serious about this."
Viper no, Viper stop.
As a vapor stealths away.
Yeah, because pushing inter-party conflict is fun, and like especially when it's like inter-party conflict about looking after each other and treating.
Viper
yeah,
no,
so
Viper.
so I guess like does Viper ask around in the inn? Like, has
Yeah, I
anyone-
think Viper asks around as they're walking and as they get into the
Yeah.
inn, like, hey, have you seen a guy about ye high this build with like a big blue sword? Very valuable looking.
I think as you arrive at the inn, Eel catches up with you as well.
Ugh. Just appear at like the air.
He just sort of like is
Ooh,
absent-mindedly
building up
just
to it.
meandering down the street, not actually paying attention to everything that's around her, which is very un-Eel.
All right. But yeah, I want to like ask around, be like, "Yo, seen a guy with a really big blue sword? It's
Yeah.
got my name on it."
Hmm. I'll come back to that one, Scott, because I think we might be able to do it with like a single test, maybe a wise or something.
Oh, likewise.
I'm curious about inter-party interactions and potentially this Arkan's first belief.
I want to move on to the first belief scene more than I want to push on like preventing Viper from injuring herself from staying up too long.
Yeah, I'm thinking like, so Eel's just come back. If you want to have a chat there, then have a chat there, and then we'll do your first belief,
Yeah.
and then sort of end on Viper's second belief, maybe.
So, Rob, do you fill us in on this much?
No, Eel just gets to you and just sort of nods and just goes back to just staring into the distance and is quite clearly lost in thought.
Okay, I guess I fill you in on what I'm up to next.
Okay. Maybe Eel took that in. You don't really
then,
know.
like, I guess I also like do the thing that like parents do when they're like scolding their kid and they're like, "Hey, I've just had this conversation with our kid about how bad she is for wanting to stay up late," and then you like nod, and you're like, "Yeah, that's bad."
Yeah, we could all use some sleep.
But you're not paying attention.
I think I remark as I see Yell, like, how is the man-faced dog?
It's fine.
All right. Okie dokie.
You're just gonna leave it at that.
Yeah,
Okay. Leave it at. Okay.
She doesn't pursue it any further. She just like
1,000-yard stare.
she's just staring off into the distance and is just like.
It's not so much staring off into the distance. It's more like that kind of thing where like somebody's clearly like thinking about something and you're just talking to them and they're just like, yeah.
I think that like Viper sees it and thinks that I'm not unpacking that suitcase. And just goes on with her life. Alright, next scene, I guess.
Sure, okay.
Well, I mean, we're just stepping.
Yeah, we're just kind of standing here.
Yeah, an awkward silence outside of the tavern, and then you head inside. So I guess Arkan, you lead this scene. What are you doing?
So I guess I've had this guy described to me by the Shikari.
Yeah.
Like, as in, he's a guy who turned up. He's from the north. He's obviously a traveler. Because A, he's come to the inn to stay, and B, he's dressed very differently from the people around here. And I believe that any in-depth or local knowledge of what actually is happening to the north of here might be useful, or at least context for helping Masato.
Yeah.
Because that's how things work, is they have to go along the ground.
Yeah.
You can't just magically fly through the air and land in the middle of the forest out of nowhere.
Okay. Yeah, I think maybe upon entering the tavern, Wolverine pulls you over and she says, that's the man I mentioned over there, and she points to a man. He's sitting in a corner with two other men, and they're playing dice, and eating breakfast. Though notably, the man isn't eating. The other two men are. And the light's quite dim. He's sitting at the back of the hall, where there's less light. They're kind of under the stairwell, maybe, sort of tucked into the corner. A little bit Aragon-y, really. Like he's
Call him Strider.
He's got a dark green, like out of season dark green cloak that's like rolled up by his side.
The cloak of a man who doesn't want to be seen in the forest.
And You'd heard that men from the north were pale, but this man is very pale.
Oh, so he's from the north. From the north. Like I
Well,
was just saying
certainly
north of here.
that's certainly your assumption, just
Right.
on
Okay.
his skin tone.
Yeah, he's not just a north. What's it called?
Yeah, he's not Maracani.
Yeah, he's not like.
Yeah, and he's playing dice, and seems to be, I guess, a cursory glance, like the two men are getting a bit more frustrated.
Yeah. He's clearly winning. Then.
Yeah. Or at least won the last game that you observed, having just looked over in that direction.
Do they appear to be playing for money?
Yeah, there are. What would they have?
That's
So
what
you see,
that was my second question.
There's a small pouch on the table that looks like it's got some weight to the bottom of it, which is probably a coin purse.
So not jade.
Yeah, probably silver rather than jade. And there's also, I think, there's some other things on the table that seem to be staked. Like, there's a bundle of candles. And there's...
So this is a working man's game.
Yeah, and there's a pot of ink.
It's a little more than a working man's game.
Yeah, and I think that's all you observe from this distance.
Not that I'm observing any of this.
That's true.
Well, no, actually, I suppose Eel is, because it doesn't shut off her natural things.
Yeah.
Well, I've told you what I'm intending to do, which is like, co-opt him into the hunt. Yeah, so I think like Arkan walks up.
Actually, there's one other thing that Wolverine probably told you before, which was like as you came in, which was like she points him out, like that's him over there, and said like he came in just about 10 or 20 minutes before you lot did. He'd been out prior.
Okay.
Yeah. So you approach.
Arkan approaches the table. Like I don't know if Eel's following him and is also going to take a seat here, or if she's just watching from a little way away.
Is there another seat at the table, or is there only one?
There's two men across the table from him, and he's sort of taking up two seats, like a bench, basically, on his own. Okay. But I think when you approach, like, the two men have just lost another game, and they leave their stakes on the table, and they stand up and look at you, and kind of awkwardly shift out the way, and one of them grunts, and
And Viper is not like immediately following behind us.
Doesn't seem to give a shit about.
Okay, then I will take the second seat.
Yeah.
In
Viper
fact,
seems to be off talking to other people.
I will take the. I don't know why, but I visualized this table as up against a wall.
I'm imagining like up against like the underside of a staircase.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
I will take the seat that is closest to the wall.
Okay.
Like opposite him.
So you like enter.
I slide in first, like to the side of Arkan.
Okay.
So Arkan is sitting like across from him, but closest to the edge.
Yeah. What does he say? And then he says in low realm, which I think only Eel natively understands between the two of you.
Quite possibly, yes.
Says, you two look to be from the realm.
Can I make the foreign languages for low realm? Because I don't
Yeah.
have that
Sure.
natural.
Yeah. I think it'd be quite easy. Because you know high realm, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's just going to be Obborn.
Wow.
Wow, just giving out these routine tests.
Nice.
Oh no, wait, no. Ob1 is dialect, so it would be Ob2, simple or related language.
Okay, I fail.
Why?
Well, I rolled 3 successes against Ob4 then, right?
You have foreign languages, right?
No, it's a routine. It's
wait.
being learned. I swapped.
Oh, it's being learned. Oh, okay. So
Yeah. So I don't understand what he says, and I say in high realm back, it's like not from the realm, but
yeah, you definitely recognize the word realm. I think
yeah,
that's
no,
the same in both
recognize
Yeah,
languages.
in fair context.
Yeah.
don't understand it. Like I
Yeah.
could
Yeah.
maybe work my way through a conversation in an hour, right? Because there's enough
Yeah.
single
Yeah.
words.
Yeah.
Not from the realm, but well, close enough. You're quite far from home as well.
He nods, but continues to speak in low realm. Says, sort of, looks at you both, and says to you, Eel, I didn't know monks could take husbands.
Did you translate that one as well? Like, I assume you translated the first thing he said.
Oh yeah, no, I translate the first thing he said. I do not translate the second thing he said. And I think this causes like Eel to just like for a moment to just like snap out of the fuse for a moment and just sort of be like, he is an ally.
He nods and winks. And then
You speak
says,
this language, Bracani.
he nods and says, a little. I dabble in a few languages here and there.
Shout out to Pimbach Bracani.
I think the only language we might all speak is High Realm. If you
He
don't.
shakes his head, says, Imbracani, says, I haven't been that far yet.
It's okay. I will translate.
All right, and then I think with enough crossover, I think for the purpose of this conversation, we can continue to speak relatively plainly.
Like either someone
Unless
is repeating.
unless we explicitly
Unless
leave.
we all share 2 out of 3, right?
Yeah. So I think we can decide what is or isn't translated in certain instances.
If you want
If
something
it
to be in
becomes
one and not the others, then
Yeah.
you just.
And I'd say try to avoid, just in general speech, try to avoid like high concepts.
Okay.
Just because they probably won't translate that well.
Yeah.
He gestures at the table before you and says, do either of you play dice?
Hmm.
I
You play for money? I've played other games.
Because I play for all sorts of things. And he like looks across the room to the Shikari and across to Viper. Says, "You're all here together, right?"
That's true.
Yale says nothing.
Um. I will play you a dice. After all, we have a conversation to pursue, and well, it will pass the time.
He says, "Excellent. What shall our first stake be then? Simple cash or something more interesting?"
I'll take your gold.
He smiles. All right, so I guess the stake will be a cash dice. So
This is the part where you regret writing that.
Let's make a versus gambling test.
What's gambling based on?
Good question. I think it's perception and will.
Gambling. Well,
Yeah,
perception.
perception and will.
Yeah. Cool. So that is add gambling. This is a dark path to walk down. I'm not gonna like go huge into I think this is the game that we play probably across the main duration. If the conversation leads us in a weird direction, then maybe
Yeah, I think there's
maybe
one
we
other
gamble,
stake.
Second stake, but
Yeah,
like
I think
this is the like the
this
stake
is the
character.
introductory. Yeah.
This gets us to the point where it's like, so you want information? How about we gamble for it? Because that's inevitably coming.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's like super skilled at gambling, but he does have the skill. So I think he's got a B3.
Okay. Well, let's see what he rolls, because if he rolls any successes, I'm having a fun time.
He spends fate just to get more dough.
Man. Oh
Ooh,
man,
you have a 6.
I'm gonna spend some fate on gambling.
Okay. Take every opportunity to hoard cash, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes.
All right, take cash dice.
Nice.
You have 3 cash now. I think the nature of this game is like, I think it's kind of like dice poker or something. Like you roll dice, and then you're staking on like keeping certain dice, re-rolling others, and trying to get the highest number possible.
Yeah.
And so he like, yeah, he's like, you win, and
yeah, like Arcana is just playing really aggressively. Like it's one of those. It's one of those. It's difficult to gamble against someone who's just like betting high when they have
complete shit.
Yeah, like
yeah. And he's like, oh, you win, and like pushes the coins across the table. Well played.
You were right to say that we were here together. We've made no secret of it. We are one of the realm's wild hunts. Here to... Well, we were here to solve one problem, and now we're here to solve 2. I doubt you know much about the second. My colleague may ask you about it at some point.
He raises an eyebrow and says, these things may be related. I was drawn to this town because of interesting rumors.
What rumors?
He
In High Realm, Arkan says,
he's pondering for a moment whilst you
Yep.
say that.
he says, note, he didn't say because of the last night.
Sorry, out of character, I don't
Out of
understand.
character, like I'm implying because of the enormous explosions of essence that, like,
Oh,
you know,
yeah, but we
right?
knew that because he'd been here days anyway, hadn't he?
Yeah, but we didn't know that he's been here for days. Like, he's turned up recently, so it could be that he's like on his way past, and it's like, you know,
Yeah.
if Will had wanted, it could have worked that way.
Okay, right. Yeah, I
Yeah.
see where you're going
He's
with
come
this.
here because of the.
It implies that he
Uh,
has no knowledge of what happened last night.
Yes, I. Your words give me some hope that I'm right in my guess. Tell me, which rumors was it that you heard?
Well, word can always bend so strangely, especially across several tongues. But I'd heard talk of a great healing tree in this land. One that spread love and joy to all those around it. One that, well, where I came from last, further north, they were saying some of the people there were thinking of making pilgrimage here. I decided to get ahead of them, see for myself.
A shame. Had you come half a year earlier, you might have seen it.
And if you'd come at the wrong time half a year earlier, you'd have been caught in the plague. I think it came past here at about that time.
He nods, and says, yes, Celeron had it too.
Celeron?
The town I came from.
Viper, where is that?
For sake of convenience, it's slightly north of Thorns. In fact, it's in Maracan, so you may even know of
Oh
it.
yeah, I may even have heard it. But like, that's really far north. How long ago was that? 6 months? A year?
He like sort of does that back and forth head motion that's like, yeah, more or less.
Yeah.
Yeah. He says, I think the people there wanted a miracle. They'd heard of this one in the south.
So the plague lingers in the north.
In places, I've passed through places that are desolated by it. Some are more fortunate than others. Some places have great protection, like here. You said that is not the case anymore. He like turning to Eel.
Yeah.
Have I missed my opportunity? What has happened?
It would seem that whatever healing effects the god that provides for this land has given in the past have become somewhat tainted. If you wish to remain as you as you are, then I would not partake of his fruits. Have you seen perhaps the Earthdurka around town?
I only arrived the other day. I don't know this word. I'm sorry.
Neither
It
did we
is
until recently.
a local word. I remember not what it means, but they are townsfolk, people, brothers, sisters of the others in this town. People who took the fruit and have been cast out because of it. I think Arcan is going to take one of the fruit out and put it on the table. Like this. You see, we have
eyes it.
found the way to this tree of health, as you call it. And having completed one part of our first mission, we now seek help with the rest. At the least, your knowledge of the plague, of what happened, will be useful to us.
He leans forwards and says, "You must understand I'm quite a cautious man. I'm not saying that I don't believe you, but I find that people are more honest when there's things at stake. Especially recently."
I would say that already there is quite a lot at stake, but I have a feeling you are talking in more literal terms.
He smiles and says, "I'll not beat the bush, as they say. I'm curious. I want to know your story. I want to know what you know. But I have my own agenda as well. How about it? If I win this next dice roll, you'll tell me your story. And if you win, then I'll tell you some more about the plague."
Arcan smiles. He says, "This is a very good deal."
All right.
And
Round two.
I would like to put my hand on the table because I'm gonna cheat like a motherfucker.
I knew it. Woodbender.
Yeah. Let's make a tiny little dice-shaped cup. Like dice is gonna roll onto the table, and then just get like flipped a bit. You know, just like poked from underneath, just like flipped.
Sure.
I can't believe you're using essence to cheat at dice.
What yeah, so I guess this is wood bending. Are you
So one of the simplest ways of working this one out well would be like just roll a ob3 miracle.
Yeah,
and
I
then,
was thinking ob
like,
3, yeah.
and then boost that into the gambling roll as like a +2 dice, probably. Or like a plus like advantage dice from how many successes I get, right?
That would be aid if you want bonus dice, I think.
Oh right, okay.
Which is
Well, I
ob
guess
4.
I guess in that case it's just whether it's like a success or I don't know. I don't know what the best way of doing this is, because you could either do it like a linked test or you could do it as a single like just cheat at dice successfully. Well, I guess the
Yeah,
issue
I guess-
is not whether I can do it, it's whether like it's if I do it
Whether it's
skillfully enough.
obvious
Yeah.
that you're doing it, yeah. So I think it is a linked kit test in that case. So I think we will call it an ob 3 linked test.
Okay, so
You'll
the failure of the
need
first one
4
is that,
successes to get a bonus dice.
yeah, so failure of the first one is that like it is obvious that I am cheating.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Is there a way that I can help him be less obvious?
You can't really help with essence unless you have a pertinent sphere of influence. What are your spheres?
Bureaucracy, investigation, larceny, brawl,
Larceny.
sale, and stealth.
So larceny falls
why,
under this.
why would couldn't he help with
Yeah, because
just
I was thinking just like drawing his attention in some way, or
Right. Well, that would be
That would
helping with
not-
the gambling test, not the essence side. Then
But the thing that's linked to like him knowing I'm cheating is the
is the
is the
initial
first-
test, right?
I feel it makes more
That's
sense to have him
true.
help on the first one in some way.
Having said that, I don't know how I'm going to help. But
I'd say since you have larceny, you might as well just help with essence, and then it's easy.
sure, I have a B5 in essence.
Okay, so I get 2 dice from that. So I guess you're like masking the sounds, right?
Or like Arkan is sort of warping the table a little bit, and Eel is doing the like Jedi tipping the dice bit. Or something.
Oh god.
Oh yeah, no, I like that.
Yeah. Okay. Wow.
Wow.
I'm
7
fucking
dice
terrible.
of 3. Ouch! 4 ones.
I'm gonna eat this failure. Like
You're gonna eat the failure.
I'm gonna
Okay.
eat the failure.
Well, yeah. So not successful, so you can't mark a test. Yeah, so I think oh, and I guess since you're helping Ollie tax or anima, you both have to do it. Whichever
shit.
one you do.
Wait, how does that work?
For sake of argument more than anything.
No, but like, I mean, what am I marking? Because I didn't contribute nearly as many dice, so I didn't fail by nearly as much.
No, but it's like you share the when you help, you share the failure consequence.
Yes.
And part of the consequence of an essence test is tax or anima.
Yeah. Hang on a minute.
I feel
'Cause
like
I'm-
it makes sense that I'm taxing. I don't know if it makes sense that Eel is taxing.
Because normally tax is based off how hard you fail, right?
No, it's the ob of the essence test.
Oh, right. Okay.
So it's an ob 3 fort test, basically.
Oh, okay. Oh, good luck with that. I'm gonna fail this.
Well, unless you're like, let's really lean into this failure and we both start flaring at him.
He also
Hey, I mean-
passes out like right there on the fucking
That
table.
seems like a fucking terrible idea.
Ollie, you can also stun.
It's Ollie's choice. Yeah, I mean, you could stunt, but
Do it. Stunting would be fun.
So it's obstacle 3, I guess, for me.
yeah, for both of you.
Ob 3 fort test.
Okay, I'm using my call on, please.
Yeah, sure. So reroll 3 dice.
Oh, sorry.
Well, I'm just gonna roll it because. Oh my god, my fucking wound penalty means that I failed.
No, you can. There's
Oh,
a
wait,
6
I
there.
can fate it. Yeah, I'm gonna fate that.
Yeah, that's a good.
Oh fuck
Okay.
you, dice.
So you take 1 tax, Rob. Just in the.
Ah, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yes, I remember.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ollie
Okay,
makes it.
your
though.
fort is 2 now.
And then how much
Yeah,
does that give us?
I
a
need to
penalty
sleep,
on-
guys.
Does that give us a huge penalty on the gambling roll as well?
Yeah, and then you're at +1 ob on the gambling test, and he knows you're cheating.
Yeah, cool. So, do you want to roll his gambling?
Sure. So yeah, you're basically.
Oh, I suppose that's technically a challenging fort test. I do get a challenging fort test.
give him an automatic success, basically, and then 3 dice again. Okay, so ob 4. Hey, this might be a difficult test instead for you, right?
It will be a difficult test.
Yeah. It's will or perception. You can
Will or
mark it.
perception?
Yeah, you can mark it on. Yeah, you get to
Oh,
choose,
shit,
basically.
Yes! My will goes to 4. Nice.
Yeah. So, and then it's actually ob 9 because of the +1 ob.
Oh,
after
God.
that. Oh no, it wouldn't be. No, sorry.
No, because that auto accommodate.
No, I think I added the.
yeah, so
I added the
it
one
actually
on top
should
of
have been ob.
It should have been
7.
It should have been on 7, not.
Yes, but still.
I think you should
Got
use your
7
deeds.
on
I
2
think
dice.
this is an important
Can I make-
scenario.
No, can I make 4 successes on 2 dice?
Maybe.
Because I've got fate.
You
If
can in
you're-
theory.
I
Might
don't
as
give
well
a shit.
try.
No, I need this fate. I need this fate more than I need to like pass this roll.
So
Okay, yeah. So,
So like I think the last roll, I think I'm losing quite badly, and I think we're going fine on the whole pretending not to be cheating up until then. And I think I can it becomes clear that I'm about to lose, right? And I just get really frustrated, flip the dice 3 times in a row. It's it's stationary, it just flips over and then flips over again.
and it keeps flipping on to the same number, just by pure luck, or bad luck rather.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you see him just smirking, watching this happen. And he says, he doesn't let on that he knows that you're cheating yet. He says,
I mean, I think we have both sussed that he knows.
yeah, but he's not explicitly calling it out. He's not hey, these guys are cheaters.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I don't think he'd do that anyway, but
He leans back and says,
Arkin, you can stop flipping the dice.
I think with that display, with such a dramatic failure, or such a dramatic loss, you owe me a thorough explanation of these events that you've come to investigate.
Didn't shake hands on it. Always run.
I think Eel turns to Arcan and just says, "He has us fair and square, Beetle."
We came here to find a missing Wild Hunt cadre. We found them. They were doing something to make this situation worse, selling the healing fruits elsewhere.
I think as you mentioned the fruit, he picks up the one off the table, and in the same way he would pick up a winning stake as well.
That was not staked.
He tilts his head at the fruit, says, "I'm merely inspecting it. Please continue your telling."
The god who lives there is sick. Eel thinks it's something to do with this monk. I have a simpler explanation. The people in this town have not given him the praise that he needs, that he deserves. We need for him to be well again, he needs to be strong enough that he can heal himself. He will return to normal when he is stronger, I'm sure. Or he seems to think so. And I'm not a man who knows more about gods than a god does. Someone who knows about the plague, someone who could help us talk to the townsfolk. Well, and someone who could give us more information on the plague itself. He was sent here by gods, by fate. It's not mere chance that you're here.
He he puts the fruit down and says, "You've lost one bet for that prize. But I see what you're saying. I don't know how much he re-chooses his words then and says, I think you put too much faith in me if you think I'll be of any help. I'm as much of a stranger here as you. More so, perhaps. You look relatively local. She doesn't."
You told me you had something worth gambling.
I do.
Well, I'm not a man who has the liberty to devote my life to my hobbies.
He squints and says, "You think I am?"
if this healing means so much to you that you travel 6 months to get here, or more, if you didn't come by ship part of the way, then no. But, well, I've known realm nobles. It could be that that's the case.
I think he
Well, in the
chuckles a
first-
bit and says,
In the first case,
I'm no noble.
if you're here for a reason, then you won't get what you're looking for until the god is healed.
And he like leans across the table and says, how can you be so sure, Emerald Drake?
If you wanted the tainted fruits, there are many people in this town who you could pay to take you to see them. A steady supply of tainted fruits. Well, that was very valuable to some people, but this way, with the god hole, let's just say I'm calling your bluff. This town, this place has nothing of value to anyone, save for that.
He like shrugs a bit and says, what do you expect? The place is fabled, or beginning to be. If you like, I am the first of a vanguard of interested parties. Though perhaps your
You're making
rogue
yourself-
cadre was the first.
You're making yourself sound less valuable. If I can wait another 3 weeks and have a third mysterious stranger appear from
He's
Wyld,
laughing and says, can you wait though? I thought this was urgent. You both have a temperance to your demeanor.
I'm assuming since the start of this conversation that this has entirely been in
no, I feel like it's been mixed. Like I feel like I've been
Yeah,
repeating
probably
stuff.
mixed. I mean, yeah, Ollie's been
Okay.
just the talking, but feel free to butt in anytime.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, that's fine. I just wanted to clarify. It is true. There is an urgency to what we need to do.
And I think he squints at Arkan again and says, sort of continuing his thought, says, not all of those parties will be as cooperative as, say, I am being.
I think it's clear neither of us is interested in playing games anymore. Tell me, what do you want? You know what we're here for. You know why I want you.
You want me because you
I want to keep
think
an
I'll
eye
be
on
able
you
to help you.
because you might be able to help, and because I'd rather have you where I can see you than being the vanguard of what we'll admit is not necessarily helpful to our purpose. Or unhelpful. I don't know. I don't know anything.
He like um he like scoops his winnings from the previous couple games off the table and into like a satchel to his right as you're saying that.
I've just had a thought out of character. And this is, if you're doing this, this is hilarious. Yeah, he scoops his stuff.
Yeah. And he says, I think I have what I wanted already, thanks to that last stake. We may yet see each other once again, but this game is one for me, at least today. I have no reason to tell you my purpose for being here. And the realm has no jurisdiction over me, he says in low realm to you, Eel.
I think that actually Eel sort of like there's like a weirdly sort of satisfied smile that just sort of is followed by the words no. But the hunt has power in places where the realm does not.
I think with that he like stands up and starts gathering his stuff to like leave.
I think turn to Arcan, High Realm. Are we going to let him go? We could seize him, but it would make us very unpopular.
He knows that we're Dragonbloods. And yet, there's no fear. Either he is a much braver gambler than he seems to be over mere dice, or he is also hiding something.
Are you thinking what I am thinking?
There are many people who would not call themselves noble. But becoming immensely rich only means living a long time. Yes, he is likely exalted.
And perhaps the best thing to do is to let him go. But to watch. I do not think it will be the last we see of him.
I suspect it may be. At least in this valley. He doesn't seem like a man who... Well, he'd have no reason to lie to us when he said that he had what he wanted.
Hmm.
I still can't understand it, though. Just coming all this way for a tale.
Information is a powerful tool.
Hmm.
It's clear he knows something that we do not.
I think I'm wrong. I call to him, and I say, "Hey."
He's like, at this point, he's got all his stuff together and is about to
He's
walk
like halfway across the.
yeah,
Two
probably
things.
already started leaving. Yeah,
Two things.
he turns.
First, I did not tell you my name, or the name that I'm going by under the hunt.
He
He's
shrugs
Arkan.
and says, "Oh, okay."
If you wish to meet me again, then you'll remember it. What's your name?
He repeats your name. He says, "Arkan." I remember that, and looks, says, "You're eel."
Okay.
Says-
you can't see it, but there is danger sense just tingling all the way down Eel's back right now.
And I think he catches that like second of a worried look and smiles and says, "You said your names to each other during our conversation. Is it really that surprising? I am Tane. Goodbye."
The second thing, Tane.
Ugh.
This is a
Yes.
dangerous country. I would like to make sure that you don't get lost in the forest. Please, take 2 of my shikari with you. I'll guide you to the nearest roads.
Shakes his head, says, "I travel alone. At least for now. I don't want to deduct from your clearly already limited resources. Your men have better things to do, I'm sure." And he turns and leaves.
Dun, dun, dun.
Are people like anti the idea of me sending people to follow him? Because I still want to do that.
I mean, we can send people to follow him if you want. I'm okay with that. That was kind of my strategy.
I just want to irritate him. I don't think that actually like
Do it.
yeah, like it will mean that he doesn't come back. Like he's definitely not going to come back here secretly, right? Because either he'll have to like, or rather, if he comes back here secretly, he will have to murder 2 people to do it, right? Oh man, this is pointless.
Do
'Cause,
it.
like, no, I'm not going to send him. Because like I know what's going on, right?
Right, okay.
Yeah.
I think we'll leave the session there.
No, my roll.
I'm sorry, Scott, but it's like 10 past 11.
10 past
It
11.
is.
I really wanted to make that roll.
It wasn't. I wasn't feeling very inspired about that role, but maybe I will be next week, and I can make it more interesting by then.
How dare you?
Plus, like, the other thing is, like, we had spent a lot of time on the whole Chase Panther thing.
Yeah.
Did
I think
we?
This
Yes.
was more interesting,
The first hour was spent on that.
conversationally interesting to me, I suppose, which is probably why I let it go for an extra half an hour.
Yeah.
Man, fuck that guy.
What was your out of game thought? I'm curious.
I mean, like, Rob, are you thinking what I'm thinking?
No, apparently not.
I mean, like, that guy's the most obvious Luna that's ever walked the fucking earth, right? I know I was talking in character like I thought he was a dragon blood, but like he's like
I mean,
that's such a yeah. I think that guy's,
yeah, okay.
I think if we've got candidates for being like Eel's ex best friend back from the dead, like that guy is currently at the top of the list. Could just be a random guy. Could just be like could be nothing to do with anything. But like yeah, currently. Okay, that was a successful belief because like man, I was really hoping I'd get to like have him hang around and just be grumpy at us and mysterious for like several more days, but sadly no.
No.
I mean, he
Yeah.
might not be leaving, or like
He might not be leaving.
Yeah.
I think you, knowing that he's a gambling man, you probably could like bait him into doing something again.
Yeah.
But that would be a different session.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think Scott, like honestly, I was thinking of just like wrapping up with a pretty uninspired sort of, you either find a thing or you don't, and that's really boring. So I'd rather actually just go away for a week and think about a better consequence.
Fine.
So let's earn some Arta. Arkan?
So number one. In the tavern, I heard of a strange traveler who's come from the north only recently. I'll order them to join the hunt and use their knowledge to heal Masata. I have not succeeded in this belief.
You've tried.
I earned money off this man.
Yes.
Then
And then
tried to cheat him and,
And
failed,
failed.
and told him lots of really juicy information. Although I kept back that like the location of Masata, which I guess isn't a hugely
but you
guarded
also
secret.
told him like anybody could lead him there.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose I did tell him that. That was pretty dumb.
That may have been a mistake.
Alright.
Belief 2. Panther was a good soldier and a good man. I'll feel nothing but pity for him. I'll prevent any time attempts to hunt him down and kill him.
I think
You tried.
I think between actively not helping and then your circle's role, I think probably that's worthy of fate.
Yeah, I'm going to change this to for next session to I'll help him any way I can because I feel like that's more general and
Or
more
fate
persona.
miney, yeah.
Well, it's also a thing that I could do something big and significant and
Yes.
off it.
Yeah, yeah. Without being too specific, yeah.
And belief 3, Eel is wise and strong, has many talents that she doesn't use. And we have not.
I don't think
Like, I would like.
you haven't specifically brought this up yet.
Yeah, I would like to do this, but like
I-
it would require us to like have the intention to set some time aside to do it.
I feel actually we could segue into that quite organically at the start of next session.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I don't know whether you noticed, but when we were having that conversation, I intentionally called Arkan by the wrong name.
Yeah, I did notice that because
Yes.
I was about to interrupt and say, I know your name, you're Beetle, and then you said, I am Arkan.
That's
So,
really interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So that, like, yeah.
Anyway.
Arkan is like, yeah, I'll show Eel's hidden talents. Just mows over them.
But no, the intentionally calling him the wrong name wasn't as a deception. That was a legitimate Eel fumble because Eel's mind is elsewhere.
Yeah, I also thought that. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was just you trying to like
No.
subterfuge.
For context, Beetle was the name.
Was
of
the wood aspect in
I know.
the story where?
Right.
Yeah.
Cute.
So a nice touch.
Yes.
One that
One that
I
only
picked- I
Jen
picked
will
up on.
get.
No, I picked up.
I
on
call
it.
that.
Oh yeah, you got it.
I
didn't,
was
like,
there.
Call it
Yes.
out because Ollie interrupted me. So
Yes.
there we go. You ruined everything, Ollie.
You ruined everything by not being in a session that took place when we didn't know you.
I think Arkan is an interrupting kind of guy.
Yeah.
I mean, no, that's fair.
Yeah, it's definitely in character. So.
And my beliefs.
Instinct.
Hang on, yeah,
Oh
instant.
yeah, instincts.
When someone insults my horse or eel, punch them. Well, I didn't. Unfortunately, you made him insult eel in a language I didn't speak. So,
I think you should get like a spy.
Oh
I
shit!
missed-
Yeah, I should have translated that.
I missed
Damn
my
it.
chance to punch him and then wink at eel.
I honestly think you should get a Spidey sense for like insults to eel, so you know whenever anyone insults eel, no matter the language, you can just punch them.
I mean,
I just
what we're
keep
doing here
teasing
is
you with this
it's good.
instinct.
We're building Will's habit of having just people be insulting to eel.
Yeah.
And actually, what I've got this instinct for is to just like make Will insult Rob a lot, so that in the ranks of like who is his most important friend.
See, Ollie, you've missed a trick there because he does that anyway.
Maybe I should make it more specific.
Oh, well.
Instinct 2. Never pass up an opportunity to increase my hoard of cash. I have succeeded with this instinct. It's been a good instinct. And instinct 3. Spend each evening learning about Eel's origin. It's still a like important gap to have, but like we'll get there.
We'll get there
Yes.
eventually. I mean, it's now been
Hang on.
like a week or something. So
It has been a week, so like we've like in like 3 days it will actually be done.
Yes, that is true.
Possibly. I can't remember how much time you've actually.
3
exact-
days. 3 days in the last 3 days. Plus, I
Because
think
isn't it a 3-month one, not 3 weeks?
Oh yeah, shit! It's a whole
Yeah.
month. Yeah, okay.
Oh yeah.
It's never get like it'll be downtime. It'll just be a month.
It'll happen by the end of the arc or something, depending on how long
Yes.
stuff takes.
This is fine.
Tricks. I think I will take one for easily exploited
Sure.
because I should not have agreed to the second gambling. I should have
Yeah,
just gone. No,
yeah.
we're just gonna like agree on something like sensible people.
Yeah, or we could just talk instead of
Like I will literally trade you this information in exchange for help. You'll get all of it. And I don't think out.
I don't think anything else.
Maybe uncouth, but like I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Then my beliefs.
Yes. Sure.
Uh
I mean, it probably should be Eel next, but sure.
That's fine.
oh no. Sorry. I'm really fucking tired right now.
Yeah,
Let's
that's
do
fair.
Scott so he doesn't forget that it's
Scott.
his turn.
Yeah, I'm really tired. Belief 1, the realm stands above all else. Didn't really come into play. Nothing really happened with it. Belief 2, we all agreed to hunt down the anathema. I should do what I can to find the anathema and hunt him down, regardless of my associates grumbling. Definitely
Fate, yeah.
fate for that. Because I did not listen to anyone. Belief 3 didn't come up at all. Because yeah, I didn't I didn't come up to anything regarding fighting him.
No, but I think the way you can earn a lot of fate off of this one, just for future reference, is to act honorably and in a manner befitting a soldier.
Right.
And similarly for the first belief, it's like often with guiding light beliefs, they're the hardest to play, but in some ways the most rewarding, because you really have to bring it to the table. Like, I can't easily challenge a guiding light belief in the same way I can a goal belief.
Hmm.
But every time you kind of bring it up in an interesting or just in a way that drives the story in some fashion, like, then it is worthy of fate. So if nothing else, it's like forces you to get creative, I guess.
Yeah.
If you want fate from it.
Yeah. None of my instincts came up. I'll note you to those who are not my peers. Always have my swords on hand. I always look for an opponent's weak points.
Yeah, I think like number one probably could have got you in trouble if you'd pushed on like even harder on belief 2 and like just walked off when Arkan was saying like,
I was
"Oh,
tempted
you need to sleep."
I was tempted to, but
Yeah.
I got the idea of instead going into the inn, finding what I could, going up to my room, climbing down and out of the window.
Oh, that's lovely. Oh, that's so dumb. Yeah. So, like, while we're having this conversation, you're
So
literally
maybe
just
next
climbing out the
session.
window and like walking off.
Right.
And
Yeah,
me
so-
and Eel are having a conversation in the inn, and we haven't realised.
So I could
Yes.
begin opening the climbing skill. Because
Oh my god! No, like I don't think we care
No,
about the
I
climbing
wouldn't-
skill.
yeah.
Like you
I
could
care
just
about
do
it.
that because it's a great idea.
Instinct 3 didn't come up as well. None of my traits got me in trouble. Skinny, stringent, heroic, feudal. None of them.
But I think
Yeah,
number
it-
1 can definitely come into play next session.
Ooh, so it's a fate throughout this entire.
One fate for all session. Yeah, sorry.
Pow, pow.
Well, sometimes it's good to be stretched thin. Keeps you
Not really.
improvising.
Why's
You know.
my dex at 3?
Why is your what at 3?
So I ignore me.
Okay. Eel.
Me. Belief 1, I definitely worked towards it, and I don't know really if I achieved it. I don't think I did.
No. Belief 1.
Belief 1, yeah.
No.
Because we haven't
Can't
really.
step into the shadows.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fate. Like,
Yeah.
we-
Because
we
he
need
still
to-
can slip into the shadows.
Yeah.
Because I didn't get the chance to set up what I wanted to set up because he wasn't in the fucking temple. But so I worked towards that. So fate. Belief 2, I have done nothing towards because there just wasn't the opportunity. Belief 3, I kind of tried to use this in the temple and then got massively distracted. So
Yeah.
it's fine. I would like to argue for a fate for instinct number 1.
Yeah, you probably could have interrupted.
Because I totally should have interrupted Ark.
Yeah.
Instinct 2, bleh. Instinct 3 is, no, that's fine. Yeah. I definitely played to seen some shit.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that's everything.
Yeah, so 3 fate.
3 fate. Cool.
And then I don't think there was any right skill, right time. Don't think there was humor per se.
Multiple humorous moments, but like
Humorous
no
moments.
explicit
no,
jokes.
Yeah.
no particularly.
Unless we're gonna give Viper a fate for like the moment where she made me laugh out loud by asking for the fruit to like cure her tiredness.
I think that counts.
I feel like epic in character misjudgment counts.
No, I did not misjudge that. That is horseshit. That was a good fucking stunt for my damn
I
fort.
found it really
and
funny.
y'all contrarian motherfuckers wouldn't accept it. I
It
stand
would've
by
been-
what I did.
It would have been almost as hilarious as the. This is just like me going off. This is really self-indulgent, but in the West Marches Torchbearer game I'm playing in, we found a Gorgon on an island, and the rest of us were like, "Oh, we're gonna take a look at her and this shiny reflective stuff we have." And one guy was like, "No, I don't need to do that." So he was a statue.
See, here's the
It-
thing.
That was really
Sure, you can squirt this weird fruit juice into your eye. Roll a new character.
It's like, yeah, you could do that.
Look,
told you about the
my stun also worked that I argued with Arcan, which got me railed up.
Oh,
Y'all
don't
are
go back on
contrary.
that one.
Let's
No, I will go back on it to my damn grave.
Yeah, we can talk about that another time if needs be. Sure, I'll give Scott a fate for attempting at least to squeeze mutant juice into the bag before being slapped down.
It would have fucking worked.
It would have fucking worked.
Maybe you can spend that fate on a better stunt next time.
That was a good stunt. Y'all just being contrary.
No, it's because it's not just like any
That,
fruit. It's
look, we
because
said we're not going to talk about
it
it.
has an established effect that I know
Yeah.
what it does. Yeah.
Yeah,
And as a
but,
player, that was a dumb thing to even consider.
yeah, but here's the thing. I don't fucking care nor remember what it fucking does. Two,
Well, that makes you a bad player then, because you should care about the game that I'm trying to.
I don't
like,
care about the
make,
fruit.
You know,
I care about all the other stuff. The fruit's like
this
You care about the
arc
fruit-
is
the fruit,
called
the main
Forbidding
quest.
Fruit. Like,
Yep.
I did. You think I wrote down the arc name? You think I put down in my
I
notes?
expect you
been
to pay attention to the
It's
fucking
been-
session,
it's
dude.
been-
I am.
major
I know
plot
everything
development.
that's happening, but we have not played for 3 weeks. You expect me to retain every detail of information?
Yes.
No.
No, not
be honest,
every detail, but like important plot points, like fruit is bad, is
No, because I remembered everything else. I remembered the weird fucking animal mutant human hybrid fucks called by
What things-
Masada.
It's
Goes
not
by
like
eating
it's not like
fruit.
he's asking for like details. It's just one very important detail that he forgot, right?
Not like I forgot all of it. Don't
Yeah.
get on my ass for this.
But that's why it's like that's why you couldn't stunt off of that, and then afterwards you were reaching.
I was not reaching. I
don't.
had perfect fucking stunts.
Well,
there.
I feel like
I feel like
Anyway, we're not opening this can of worms right now. Let's
continue.
continue with Artha. You said we're not opening this can of worms. We'll open it later.
Yep.
What's left?
We did human.
Embodiment. I'm not sure about embodiment on this session.
No, I don't think anybody sort of like played themselves to a T.
Yeah.
I feel like I want to maybe go back in time to embodiment that award that doesn't rely on role playing skill, and instead relies on like let's see your beliefs and your character in like something where it's like it's a reward for like failing, like maybe for failing a belief, but like doing it in a really interesting way, right? It doesn't matter if you pass the belief, doesn't matter. It's like an extra reward on top of something for like it was really significant, the reaction that you had in this situation, right? Rather than specifically like
I would say that
like
I would
it's
say that falls
nothing I
more
need to
into the
respond
category
to.
of trait-based failure consequences.
like I don't like I think this is a thing that I'm thinking about and I do in
Okay.
a game I run next, right? Because I feel like I had it pointed out to me in a different game that like there's sometimes when you can be like we're giving out it's to do with like the way that social skills work in D&D, right? It's like
Yeah.
it's a role playing prize. If you're good at role playing, you don't have to roll dice as often and you get lots of plus die. And in this game we have mechanics for that. And so
Yeah.
the role playing prize is like the persona from embodiment, which is maybe fine, but like I don't know, maybe I've been thinking I want to move away from
Yeah,
it. But
I
I can
don't-
end this digression now because it's not a thing that's happening here.
There's a house rule that I think Luke rules
Um,
that he calls like trait-based failure consequences, which you could look up. Which is kind of the same thing where just like, if you fail, you fail because you have a particular trait, and then you invoke that, and then you're basically guaranteed fate.
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a conversation for next time, because
Sorry.
it is 11:30.
It's
so-
been a good session. It's quite late.
Yep.
It's been a good session.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for playing. And we will hopefully reconvene next week.
Yes.
Yep.
Same time ish.
Same damn time, same damn channel.
All right. So let's
Arrivederci, vámonos.
stop the broadcast.